Hello, welcome to the HomeBhoys Live podcast. It is Thursday, the 21st of May. I'm, of course, Joe McCann. We are back. It is episode 542 when the champions marched with O'Neill. We are here to talk about the high drama at the end of the season, what happened on Saturday, and what awaits us this Saturday. Joined by my good comrades, Jason Higgins, the man who's got the Love Street ticket in his avatar every week on this show. How you doing, Jason?
I need to change it now, mate. But, there you go. Happy days. Day 6. We're on day 6.
Day 6?
Day 6 of pain.
We're going to get to that soon. And of course, joined by Liam Power at our Rutherglen. Liam, you there? Liam's disappeared. Liam's taking a huff, is he? Run away.
Liam's on the moon.
Yeah. Just me and you now, Jason. Hold the fort here.
The two of us.
Oh, he's back now again.
Make it if we try.
Oh, he said he couldn't hear me. Hold on. Liam, you there? Can you hear me now? No, he can't. You can hear me okay, can't you, Jason?
I can't hear you, Joe. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear. He's on that iPad, isn't he?
We can hear you, Liam. But you can't hear us. Should have figured this out 10 minutes ago, shouldn't we? Like, I mean, this is the kind of low bar we set ourselves. Something to do with his settings. But
Can't hear either of you two.
That's bizarre. Right, we'll go on. We'll send you off again. I'm back on. Anyway, folks, that's the kind of start you're used to in a show. We do all our technical difficulties live on air. Fuck preparation. Roy came to having a fit if he was part of this setup. Feel to prepare to fail, and all that crap. We were hoping to be joined by Scott McCrory, but again, he's also appears to have disappeared. Marty Flynn will be on later on. We'll be joined by LA's top 10. Marty Fashion is coming on around 9 o'clock. Yep. I assume Marty was with you at the weekend, Jason, was he?
He was indeed. He's in New York now. He's fucking jet setter, the boy. He's in New York, but I don't know if he's en route back to LA. Or I'm not entirely sure if he's back out here for the weekend. I can't mind what he said. But I was with him on Saturday after the game.
Right, Liam's going back on. Let's give us an bash, folks. Here we go. Liam, can you hear us now?
I can hear you, Washington.
Yes. Happy days. We're just pulling together some fluff, some buffer there while you were away. So welcome to the show, Liam Power.
Thank you. I think
introduction.
I think Derek McInnes has been licking my plug in this room here.
Oh, there's going to be some glorious, delicious going with that very soon. Hopefully have Marty Flynn will be on, Marty Fashion will be on. Scott may dip in. Don't know what the crack is there. But again, what we're here to do is go over the wonderful, glorious, intense occasion on Saturday. Some of the messages in our group chat between you and Liam were emotional, to say the least. So I'm going to kind of let one of you take it away in terms of like, obviously you're both there. I made an absolute, in typical Joe fashion, made an absolute fucking bollocks of it, trying to get the travel organised at the last minute, and it just didn't come together. So watched in the house with a bunch of kids. It's actually good crack. But I want to hear from the men who are on site, soaking in the emotion and pulling their hair out and dealing with the tension. I know I was rocking back and forth like a fucking patient in a psych ward for most of the game. Suppose lead us through your day. Which one of you want to go first?
Jason, you go first.
How did the day go? It was very, very tense. I was confident in a sense, but I was fully aware of the Celtic team that I've been watching all season. I wasn't entirely confident that we'd get the job done. So, it was trying to think how it started. So we get the train in. Me, Ellie, Mick, and Finn get the train in from Motherwell. The trains were off for Wishaw. We were meant to get the train. Got and get it, and Mick had phoned us and checked and says, "Hey, trains are off." So we get the train in. Train was bunged. Met Linda's pal for work and her boyfriend get in, and gets to Celtic Park just 11:15. So all the ultra groups had arranged folk to meet at 10:30. So we gets to the stage, absolutely jam-packed. Whoever the team buses coming in. So I'd arranged to meet Big Pat. He was up for Sheffield, him and Nicola. Met them. Had a blether outside the pools, Big Gilmore, just every day was I didn't know what was going to happen. A beautiful day, hosted, just trepidation in the air, and then Celtic team bus arrived, and what a welcome they got, you know. Then the Hearts team bus arrived. But so into the game, and everybody was like kind of confident, but we didn't know what was going to happen. And got to our seats, Sir John was in with Claudia as well. Just a load of my mates. And then, so we get to our seats, Paul and Becky were up, Big Tony. Gets to our seats and the game kicks off. The atmosphere was incredible. And as the ultras had said, boo Hearts every time they're on the ball, you know, and they did. A lot of the ground was joining in, and it was absolutely watching. And Celtic just didn't turn up. First half, I thought we were awful. I thought they were just leaving the ball to Trusty every time we get the ball. It was Trusty bringing it out of defence, and Hearts were happy to let them do it. And kind of just, they played us like a fiddle, really. And as the first half went, I think we had one snapshot for Tunecki that didn't even really bother the keeper. And that's about all I can really remember for the first half. And it's all a bit of a blur. And then Hearts scored. And to be fair to the Celtic support, they never gave up. You know, everybody was right behind it. And then, luckily enough, we got the penalty. And for the reaction, I thought I didn't see it hit his hand, although it was right in front of me. But for the reaction of everybody, I'm like, I think that's a penalty. And then we got it, and then the bottle. Because when they went 1-0 up, you were kind of, I don't know, the interesting thing, the Hearts fans started singing, "We Shall Not Be Moved." I'm like, oh, aye, here we go. So they were singing, "We Shall Not Be Moved," and I'm like, a bit premature for that. But we gets the penalty, and Engel stuck it away. I mean, you see the replay, it wasn't the best of penalties. I think the keeper was raging that he didn't get it. But that got us in at the break, one each. And I was well happy because we hadn't really turned up. And I know the way Celtic have been this season, they come and, stops and starts. We don't play for 90 minutes. So I'm just saying to myself, please make this happen, in the second half. And then obviously we make a substitution with Iniacho coming on at half time. Tunecki getting off, who was useless. And he's just I don't want to have any bad things to say about the game, but he's just an absolute enigma. He's got loads of ability in that, but his production in that first half was terrible. But so Iniacho come on, I thought Iniacho was brilliant. Then Hearts got an injury. And by the way, what I hadn't mentioned as well, for the full game, the tactics that Hearts were using, they were just lying down, wriggling about the park at every opportunity, wasting time constantly. He played 3 minutes on at the end of the first half. It should have been 5 or 6 because they were just at it. But obviously that's their right. They had a game plan and they kind of stuck to it. But then they get the injury and it kind of threw them. And McInnes, it's you're only allowed to make a certain amount of subs, not a certain amount of intervals of subs. So McInnes had to bring like 3 on at the one time, and then we brought our subs on, and I don't know if we brought ours on first and he reacted to that. He made a sub no long after half time when he knew Iniacho was on to try and combat that, which is fair enough. I thought Iniacho was great. He held the ball up well. His movement was excellent. But then we made our subs later on. Tierney goes off. Sarachi comes on. Forrest had come on earlier, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if they all come on at the same time. But I don't think so because Tierney played quite a while. Then Sarachi come on and young Callum Osmond. And young Callum Osmond was absolutely brilliant. But Iniacho was special as well. I mean, I know he's no fit, but his ability on the ball is unbelievable. But all that said and done, when it gets to like 80 odd minutes, you're just starting to think. I still did think with a goal in us, and I knew there would have been a fair bit of injury time. I knew there would have been a load of injury time, so I still knew there was 15, 20 minutes left. And we started to get right in top, and they were all over the place. And obviously, Iniacho was so unlucky hitting the post. Nigrin is a great shot, and it's saved by them. And obviously, then we get the goal, and then the pressure really started to tell. One thing I never mentioned as well that nobody's even spoke about, and I didn't even mention it on our chat, but at the game, and when I was watching the highlights again, see when Hearts get the corner for Shankland to score, and they obviously come into the back post, marking awful for us. Was that not a bye kick to us? See when you see it again, it was Tonetke. Tonetke was convinced the ball had bounced off the Hearts defender, and nobody's even mentioned it. And when I seen it again, it wasn't. They didn't really look at it. But then you see that at the game, Liam.
I haven't looked back. Can remember you saying it? No, I haven't checked back, mate. I need to do that.
Aye, Tonetke was claiming it was a bit. Obviously, then they went and took it quick, and they got the goal. But back to the second half, when we got our goal, and obviously then they give offside, and where I'm sitting, I'm up the other end, so you've no clue whether it's offside or onside. But I just seen Iniacho dropping to his knees and looking up to the sky after a wee bit, as if they'd been told it's onside before the announcement that came in the stadium. And then they said it was onside, and the stadium just went absolutely berserk. And that's when the pressure really hit me, and I was gone. I couldn't even sing after that. I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't see when it's in your grasp. I was just, the pressure was unbelievable. After the game, we were all saying to each other, I says, I could have done 6 hours in the gym and felt better than I did after that game. Physically and emotionally drained every ounce. It was incredible. And I was convinced Hearts were going to just get a last minute goal, just to beat us. I was convinced, because after we got the goal, they just kind of battered us, and they just threw caution to the wind and just went for it. But they didn't really make any chances. They just weren't good on the ball. They just weren't, we defended brilliant. Obviously, Martin Neal made the change and brought Dane Murray on. And he did anything that he asked to do, he done it. And then obviously at the end, when Big Iniacho tracking back and defending to the back, first time he's ever probably done in his career, wins the ball, and it just breaks to wee Callum Osman. And oh my God. See when you see them running over the halfway line, and obviously there was no offside, and you just knew that's it. The league is won. And it was just absolute bedlam for then on. Then I could start to enjoy it. And just the emotions, everything about the day. It was just, it was incredible. And trying to rank it, the league wins, I would say it's probably joint with St Mirren last game of the season. I don't think it's up there with Stoke in the 10. For me, I was too young for 10 men won the league, 79. I was too young for that, so can't really remember it at all. I was like 7 or 8. But it was just absolutely incredible. And what a day. One of my best days going to watch Celtic ever. Just a full day, surrounded with family and friends, and just having an absolute ball. And it was just unbelievable. The tears were blinding me at the end. Must have cried about 5-6 times before I left the stadium. Just incredible, just unbelievable. And I probably missed Horrors, but it's so still kind of a bit of a blur. But just, and it wasn't really relief, because it was only relief for the last 10 minutes, the last 3 minutes of the game, and then the 7-8 minutes injury time. That was the only relief part, because I wasn't really expecting us to win the league for a long time ago. I'm not one of these guys that always believed we would there. I thought we had no chance, and they win those last 7 games. I wouldn't have put a pound on that. You know, walking out of Tannadice, oof, not a chance. Not a chance. Then I think we would win it. I definitely thought Rangers or Hearts would have won it. But there you go. And Mark O'Neill, it's down to him, you know, what he's done for that team. And I thought Kieran Tierney's interview after it as well, talking about this was the best. Everybody wrote us off. And he says, this is the one I want to win more than anything. And I burst out greeting watching that again. Just incredible. I'm kind of rambling on this. So on you go, mate.
Oh, one of the things you said last week, I listened to the podcast last week, was said, what you didn't want to happen was for us to be a goal up with 10 minutes still to be played. And that's basically kind of how I played it.
I thought about that in the game, but I was like, thank fuck we're a goal up. Because when you're one each and you've lost a league, you'll fucking take it. You know, but the pressure, Joe, the pressure for that last 10 minutes was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Never, I don't think I've ever experienced pressure like that again. Maybe Boa Vista, I was thinking, but Boa Vista had equalised. We were still taking it to extra time, you know, when Larsson had scored. So try to think, when big Jan Vennegoor scored at Tannadice, they were getting beat at Aberdeen. So it was kind of a done deal. You know, you were under pressure, but I think they were getting beat at Aberdeen before Jan Vennegoor scored. Try to think, the other one at Kilmarnock after the Seville season, it was kind of done and dusted. They went well up. There's been quite a few kind of last day games. The pressure at the Stoke 10 in a row was incredible. Once we were 1-0 up there, that was incredible. You know, when they had that chance with the corner, just about that Joe Boyle's head, they had a chance there. But when Big Bratback made it 2-0, then the pressure was off, and that was, tears were flowing that day. But that last 10 minutes, the pressure was just incredible. It was, can't really put any words. Just unbelievable. But we did it. And God bless every one of us.
And your brother in tears, Liam, like it was.
There was lots of tears, mate. What's that?
You want to give us your take on that? Because it sounds like you two has had quite a bonding experience.
Well, when we finally caught up and had a big cuddle at the end, there was a lot of tears shed, put it that way. But yes, obviously we did the podcast on Friday, and I was exuding confidence the whole way through, which was a complete fabrication because I was shitting myself the same as everybody else. But I was just trying to kind of, put a smoke screen up. But no, I did feel confident. I did feel that we beat them. Felt pretty confident. And then when we come off the pod, I was kind of buzzing. It was a really good chat and whatever. And I don't know, it was quite late. I think 11, 12. And I must have sat up to about 2:30, just wide awake. Do you know what I mean? Just excitement, nerves, watching complete shite. And it was like, I could have sat up. I was kind of like contemplating sitting up the whole way through and just going through, but that obviously wouldn't have been a very wise move. And then when I woke up in the morning, didn't get a lot of sleep, but I was really nervous in the morning. I kind of didn't really want to see anybody before the game. I was just, I don't know, maybe it just caught up with me a bit later than other people, but I was pretty nervous. So I had a bit of running around to do before I left the house, and then I walked up to the game just to kind of get a bit of fresh air. Went round the back of the velodrome because that's kind of like up Springfield Road, and the Hearts fans were gathered around there. There wasn't many of them at that point in time. Kind of got a police escort across, and obviously getting a bit of banter and a bit of abuse hurled at them, but it was nothing you wouldn't expect to see anywhere else. And I was waiting for Mick to come up because I had Mick's ticket before we went in, so I was just kind of sat taking it all in. And Joe, you've been there on the last day a few times, or the trophy day, and you know how busy it gets on the Celtic way now. So it's, you know, it was obviously mobbed. Everybody's kind of having a drink up there, having a beer. The atmosphere was good. The weather was nice. I don't know, Jason, were you there for the bus? I know you were talking about maybe just making it, right? Yeah, so yeah. I'd missed that, but I imagine it was pretty noisy when that came in.
Oh, brilliant.
And, you know, yeah, I know we'll come back to it, but you can't underestimate importance of having the Green Brigade back in for these last few games. Obviously, I missed the Rangers game, but I think the atmosphere for the last at least 3 home games, maybe 4. I can't remember how many they've been back for, but it's been a different level, really. You know, it kind of gave us every opportunity to be successful on the day itself. So went in about an hour before, had a couple of beers, and I felt better. I felt better once I had a couple of pints, just kind of settled me down a bit. But went up quite early into my seat. I'm normally kind of the last one up there, but I was up quite early. I just thought the whole place was rocking, you know. I thought everyone was really up for it. Atmosphere was really good. Let's say sun was shining, all the indicators that you'd expect to see from a famous Celtic day as we normally get. And I just thought, I read people say O'Neill schooled McInnes tactics-wise, which I completely disagree with, right? Apart from the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the game. But I thought McInnes got it spot on with his tactics in terms of, as you said, isolating Trusty on the ball. You know, and it was working perfectly because the crowd were getting more and more anxious. Trusty looked like a rabbit in the headlights every time he had the ball. I mean, Jason, you'd have noticed this even more than me. The amount of runs Teeny made down that flank in the first half.
Nobody put the ball left. Everything went right. Everything went right.
Yeah,
Tierney was on the byline about 5 times, and the ball never came near him.
Yeah,
Ellie was screaming.
Yeah, same. And the frustration for me was, you know, all Trusty's got to do is open his body up because he's left-footed, and it's like a kind of curling instep ball. You know, it's such an easy ball for him to play, but the more he was kind of hesitating, the more unsure he became. And then the more under pressure he became. So I just thought it just really unsettled the team. Seeing Tenecti start completely baffled me. You know, completely. He was so bad the game before when he started. I just don't understand what the manager thinks he's going to get out of him, other than, as we discussed last week, maybe just a pair of legs that runs around for 45 minutes or 60 minutes until we can get somebody else on who hasn't got much more than half an hour or half a game, you know, in them. So I thought he was as bad as we were expecting. Ada was completely out of the game. Young was very quiet again. So yeah, I just thought we really struggled in that first half. McInnes got it spot on, but where I thought he fell down, and whether he was his own direction or to the players, but City saw this play acting. I think the physios were on 6 times for Hearts during the game.
It was unbelievable. You knew what they were doing, and
yeah.
See when the big boy got injured in the second half, nobody actually took it serious because they were doing wriggling about the full game.
Yeah,
you know, it was. I think, see in hindsight, see if they'd went for it, they could have. And this was a point Mick and Seamus made in the way to Motherwell. They says, I probably mentioned at the pod last week. They says they wanted us to be a point behind getting into the last game, and I think the point behind didn't make us play any different, but it made Hearts play different. Whereas it was the spoiling tactics. It was and they got the goal, and then that was it. They weren't trying to get up the park at all after that. You know, and
yeah.
We got lucky with the penalty, but it was a stone waller. But you couldn't really see us scoring apart from getting a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. We got lucky. I think it was like you said. It was a spot on penalty. It was a decent reaction from us as well after conceding the goal. But just going back to Hearts, it wasn't just the physios coming on. You know, I mean, like almost every time they had a throw in, the boy would actually run past the ball that was in play. Do you know what I mean? And go and get one of the balls off or discs and whatever. And I made a big point on Friday about talking about the body language of the players and the fans at the end of the game, the previous game on the Wednesday. You know, like I said, the fact that if they could have won the league, if Celtic finished 2-2 in Motherwell, I could have understood how, you know, despondent they all were. But it was the fact that they realised, right, it's not now a 3-0 defeat we need to avoid. It's just any sort of defeat. So I thought, yeah, the time wasting is understandable. It's what people do. But I just felt it's a bit of a negative approach to things as well. You know, the tactics, I thought McInnes did really well in terms of that isolating Trusty. Not starting Braga was a massive talking point as well.
We heard that, but obviously that was his defensive setup. He wasn't wanting to be too open, and I think if he'd went for it, hindsight's a great thing. But if he could have his time again, he wouldn't deploy the tactics and he would have went for it.
Yeah, I've heard two stories about. I mean, one said Braga's been injured for a couple of weeks and I didn't think
I heard that as well.
Could play a game. And the other one was saying, the way that Trusty was, bullied about in previous games. I can't remember who it was we played. On the Rangers game, he was absolutely battered about the first half, wasn't he, against Chimichi? So I thought they played that boy up front who was a big physical threat, and he did give Trusty a hard time, physically. But Braga's your player of the season. If he's fit, you've got to play him. You've got to get him in there.
One game left.
Yeah,
even if he's half fit, you fucking play him.
Yeah, and I worked in Edinburgh this week, and loads of Hearts fans that I know, not pals or anything. One guy works for me, and he had to come over and say, "Look, I'm too emotional to talk about it just now, but I didn't want to think." You think I'm avoiding you? I said, no, look, you can come back in your own time. Don't worry about it.
See, if he was your boss, you wouldn't get that fucking reaction.
But it was funny because he just kind of was like, it's a disgrace after the game, all that stuff. And I said, look, just, there's a lot of factors here you need to take into account. But again, the point I made last week was Hearts only won 2 away games in 2026. And I think someone said they got 11 points in total in the last 5 months of the season away from home, and that's just not good enough. Do you know what I mean? It's not good enough to get you over the line in terms of winning the title. So I thought they'd done well in the first half, and I do think if we'd have gone in 1-0 down, I think it would have created a lot more tension. There was enough there in the air as it was, because I think I went down. I actually missed the penalty because I was just like, need to get out of here, man, for a bit, and so I was in the lounge just as the penalty was given, and then obviously when you're watching it on the screen, as Engel starts his run up, the whole stadium erupts because it's like it's 30 seconds behind or whatever. So the relief was fucking incredible. But if it had been 1-0, there'd have been I think there'd have been boos there, even though the fans were already staying behind the team. There'd have probably been some nervous boos and whatever. And then you're coming out the second half in a different position. So that goal was really invaluable to us, but it was really striking that the fact that they made a sub 1 minute into the second half. Now I heard you say there, Jason, it was to match up against Iheanacho, but I don't know. Like at the time, I thought they've just done that to waste more time here. But then you've only got 3, like you said, 3 sub windows that you can use, because I think half time doesn't count because it's the game's not going on, sort of thing.
Aye.
But something they said on the open goal is that apparently one of the officials comes and knocks your door and tells you that the other team's making a sub and who it is. I think it was Halliday or something was saying that.
That's right, aye.
Yeah, so you'd have thought that Hearts would have known, but also you can see, can't you? Because you do see players warming up specifically away from the group if they're likely to come on.
Yeah.
So why they had to wait until the second half started was beyond me. And the thing is, Iheanacho wasn't like we hadn't gone to the 3-5-2 then. It was just like a like for like, one player on, one player off, same formation. So again, I'm not convinced it justifies bringing someone on straight away. For me, I thought that substitution was scheduled to happen at half time, but they just thought, well, we'll wait for the play to start and then we'll just drag it down again. Now, I could be completely wrong there.
But I think the demographic, when you're taking Tunecki off, you're sticking the aid in the left and you've got Iheanacho, you've got a much more lethal attacking formation than you had in the first half, right? So you totally understand why he makes the sub, but why does he not do it at half time?
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Do it at half time, and then you're keeping your options in check moving forward. Then, so that was weird seeing that happen at the start of the second half, and then I think was it Bringamy got injured. Fair play to Iheanacho because everyone was just screaming, "Just get on with it." Do you know what I mean? They've been fucking diving bastards all game, but he was clearly in a lot of pain. You could see that was a pretty bad one. But again, just the kind of the time wasting and dragging the game out, and the nerves were just building up and building up and building up. But once we made the change to bring Osmond on, took Trusty off, which I thought was a really big, it was a brave move. Forrest on, and eventually Sriracha on as well. We just looked a completely different team with Osmond on. With some runners on there, and I was saying to Mick all through the game, we've got to get some match winners on. That's what you need here, right? You need some Hail Marys on. Just players that can dig some out of nothing. There's no point in doing like for like sort of substitution. We need something that's going to shake it up a bit. And we could have scored 4 or 5 goals in that last period there, like you said. Inacho hit the post. Negrin had a really, really good chance that was well saved. The couple of goals we scored as well. The one that Osmond headed, which might have been going in anyway, I think he was just fractionally offside. And it was just the euphoria when Maeda scored that goal was like nothing I've ever... I didn't feel like it at the time, but it was incredible. And then to be cut short straight away, like literally straight away with the flag, and you're like, oh, fuck. And where we sit, Jason, we've got like there's 2 boxes behind us. There's the McStay one, and there's another one a bit closer to us. And some people in the box are going, it's a goal, and the other people are going, it's offside. And you're like, this is terrible, man. But then you gradually see people starting to kind of celebrate a bit around the dugout and stuff. And when obviously they give the goal, you're just like, fucking absolutely incredible. And then watching it back after, Maeda's reaction is just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. He's like an iceman, and there's so much emotion in him when that goal was given. And like it's probably, I think it's the most. I was going to say it's the most nervous I've been through a game. But when we played Bovis that second leg, because I had a ticket for the final, and it was my 30th birthday the day before, and I've been out drinking shots and spirits, which I never drink. So I was really ill on the day of the game, like really ill. I dragged my ass to the sports club in Birmingham to watch it, and it made me feel more ill by the minute because it was such a tense game. So it was kind of similar to that, really. But the euphoria when Maeda gets that goal, but then it's a completely different nervousness and tension, is it? Yeah, because you're like.
Were you after we'd scored? Were you singing around? Were you like? See, like the full game, I was off my seat shouting, booing, and doing everything that the ultras were doing, and just doing everything to try and get behind the team. See, when that goal went in, I just stood saying prayers. Didn't do anything. No, I was a fucking man down. They might as well fucking tell me you leave because you're doing nothing here for the team.
Exactly the same. I'd love to have seen a camp like a player camp sort of thing on the way I was. It was like head in my hands, head between my knees, and screaming abuse and all sorts of things. And it was just meant. After being pretty confident, once we'd scored, I was like, they're gonna get one here, aren't they? Just the way this season's been. This is the final turn in the season. And even when that free kick, I'm like, free kick, man, that's the worst. Because obviously that goal...
They had a couple of corners as well, didn't they?
Yeah. We actually defended him really well. Scales was fantastic.
Scales was brilliant. He's been brilliant all season.
That definitely, he's so good, defending his box. And because I thought the goal we conceded was so poor, because we've conceded that against them multiple times now. They've got 2 against us at Tynecastle earlier in the year, both generated the back post. Shankland scored that goal against us once before, I'm sure, at Celtic Park.
And by the way, what a player he is.
Yeah.
He's quality. Yeah. He's quality. And for nobody to be picking him up, it's just terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, no one was near him. I mean, he literally ran into it, and he's got the biggest head in football, so that's the last person you want the ball to be bouncing off now.
So yeah, like a Sputnik.
So total nerves, and then that free kick at the end, you're just like, fucking hell, man. I've had this thing of just squeezing my hands so tight every time there's a dance against us, and I don't know how I haven't broke my fingers at some point in the last month or so. And then, like you say, you see the ball bobble around. McGregor just get to it, and then you're just howling when you see the 3 of them running up towards the goal, absolutely howling, man. I was hoping he's going to stop it on the line and do that little header thing, but you're like,
that would have been great.
Oh, no chance. No, I would just get it in the net. It's like,
part of that sitting there going like, I hope he doesn't fucking miss this, because they've seen it happen. They're like, holy fuck.
But see, like that kid, we've been saying, right, that's his 4th appearance for us.
Something like that, yeah.
And like, you need to put him in a long-term deal with good money. He is quality. You can tell straight away. He's got it.
Him and Sriracha coming on were brilliant. Like the impact they had together coming on was fantastic. His energy and his attitude's brilliant. Osmond's just great. Even the wee touches, the wee back heel for Negrin's chance. I mean, just and for some reason, there was Hearts players weren't picking him up. He was just getting loads of space to make runs. I was like, "Fuck this! You gotta watch this kid.
He's quality. quality.
And I see his interview at the end. Seems like a really good, grateful fucking humble
Oh,
kid.
he just seems a diamond of a kid, doesn't he? Just look unbelievable. But you get him tied down because he's in a few-year contract, but get him on good money, and because he would go for a fortune. But just get him tied down. He's the future, and you get him fit. That's some start for a manager, whoever it is next year. We'll get to obviously the manager carry on, but and I didn't mention Maeda when I was talking about it, right? But just what a hero, an absolute Celtic legend. I don't care what anybody says. He is. He's higher than Naka for me. But he's the number one Japanese player for us. He's not getting anywhere near the ability of Naka, but what he's gave to our team, and he's won us the league. See, without him coming into form towards the end of the season, what was it, 7 goals in 5 games?
8 and 6, but 7 in the last 5.
8 and 6, for the split, 7 and 5.
Yeah.
Worth his weight in gold. And his goal, I mean, see when you actually see it being given offside, it makes you absolutely rage. I mean, if we didn't have VAR, we wouldn't have won the league.
Well, that's the thing about you. Obviously, you didn't see it at the game because we're seeing replays on the TV. And I know straight away, I was like, well, there's no possible way this can be offside. Like, it's not in the frame of the play. He's not even part of the build-up play in the initial phase. It's going like, this is just a ridiculous fucking call.
Yeah.
I mean, but you didn't know that, obviously. Watch it at the game. I mean,
and the lines that they put on the TV confused things even more. The line should have been on Osmond and not on Maeda. So that just gave fucking rise to all the tinfoil heads. Do you know what I mean? They should have put the lines in the right place where the decision should have been made from.
The amount of fucking people online, even bots online and fucking Twitter accounts online, putting that up is that this is a disgrace. Clearly hadn't seen the passage of play.
Yeah, definitely. So that just between that goal and the third goal just felt like about an hour. Like I know it was only 10 minutes or whatever. And there's no surprise when you added 8 minutes on. As you said rightly, Jason, the first half should have probably had 6 or 7 minutes. So to only give 3 was a joke. I mean, the physio was on at least 2 or 3 times in the first half, which was frustrating. But then obviously that third goal goes in, you got your elation, and then obviously the people spilling onto the pitch, which it's totally understandable. It happens all the time, but I got to say personally, man, see all the people fucking about getting photos, multiple photographs. They're pissing me right off, man.
Does my fucking head in, man. I get that on the pitch, this euphoria thing, but see it like I just as soon as it happened, I was like, this is all we're gonna fucking hear about the rest of the week now, isn't it?
Joe, see in front of me, right? There was a wee boy on. It must have been about 18 months with them ear defender things running about himself. Then his dad scooped him up, and then there was 5 of them, and they were taking photos. And then one would come out the 4 and go and take a photo when the other guy went, man, they were on there. This is what they were, just multiple like family portraits and stuff. What the fuck are you doing, man? Because no one knew the game had finished at this point. I know that the time was telling you that, but I thought they still were going to have to get them back on and finish the game, sort of thing. So it was. And the
thing is, you want to see Hearts players, devastated at the end up to their support and stuff like that. It ruined all that for us, but at the end of the day, I don't care. It's like, I think the way Martin O'Neill's dealt with it in the media has been outstanding, and he obviously referenced Kilmarnock when McInnes was the manager, and it happens, right? And at the end of the day, it didn't ruin anything for me. It just, you'd rather it didn't happen, but fucking totally understandable. Big Papa's fucking on the park. He was 2 rows to the front. I was watching the full game, then it finished. He's right on. He says, I didn't know what I was doing. He says, I just go into the penalty box, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing on here? He just wandering about. But, unbelievable. It's like, it's really hard to put any words. I just looked at a chat there, and Shawnee says, Higster went into a state of catatonic Catholicism. You better believe it, mate. There was novenas never getting said there. Seen the last 10 minutes. Oh my God. I didn't take rosary beads with me, but see if I did. I've done a right few decades, I'll tell you. It was same prayers to everybody.
Totally, mate, totally. So euphoric at the end, and then I turned around and Zoe had she'd worked her way over, and she was right behind me. So as soon as I saw her, that was me. That started me crying then. So and it was great. The celebrations were just great, man, because it was such a wave of such a release of emotion after so long. I know a lot of people have talked about it as being their best ever, and lots of people have. It's not for me, but it's definitely been the most probably intense and emotional. The Tommy Burns one obviously was big in that regard, but God, this has just been the most mental season. So it's so nice just to be able to fucking have the weight of the world off your shoulders and just lap it all up. You know, really lap it all up at the end.
It's the bit for me. It's kind of, it's not really kind of sunk in. It's like unbelievable. I still can't get to grips that we've won it.
Yeah.
Because you say you didn't deserve to win it. We did deserve to win it.
Yeah.
Because the best team wins the league. And all this pish about VAR and whatever, thank God for VAR, because it levels the playing field out for us. We still get decisions against us. I'll take you back to the Hibs game. I go to laugh all the time when they're going about, they keep talking. I mean, Rangers fan, they work a day. He says what about the penalty against Motherwell? I says, was it a handball? He's like, well, skiffed his hand. I says, was his hand above his head? Aye. In the box? Aye. Is that not a penalty in Andy's book? Whoa. But if you look at the way his hand was pushed, but I says, no, his hand wasn't pushed. I says, it was the way he jumped and the way Trusty jumped to him. I says, but his hand was above his head and his hand hit the ball in the box. What more do you need? It's a penalty. Well, it probably is. It probably is. He's one of the guys that's like into the conspiracy theories. It probably is.
We're in that world then of alternative facts, aren't we? You know what I mean?
Right.
When people are talking that kind of shit.
Mental. And by the way, we were lucky because we were never scoring at the end of Fir Park. The last 10 minutes, no danger of we getting a goal for open play. We totally got lucky, but it was a penalty.
On what basis are these referees wanting to do Celtic favours? I mean,
John Bean and Andrew Dallas. I mean, come on.
Well, the best one was Jamie Bryson wanting the federal agency he called in and wanting fucking an inquest and an investigation into why what have they got on John Beaton? And you're like, of all the fucking referees you would think in Scotland would definitely not be on the side of Celtic, he is fucking numero uno.
Hearts, is that the first penalty Hearts have been given against them this season?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now that penalty, there's something magical about where that penalty went under the keeper, because that was the only spot that ball was going in.
TV watching the telly, big Pat's right behind the goal.
Because the keeper goes the right way, right height, and it just this wee gap opens up and the ball just goes through it. And you're like, holy fuck, that's written.
It's a poor penalty, I thought, Joe. He was halfway across the goal, like he got away with it, and the goalie kind of dived over it a little bit. Yeah.
But I have to give credit to Liam Scales for this protecting the penalty spot crack that he has.
Oh yeah.
That was class. They were all protecting it. Maida was getting in on it, and all the Hearts players are trying to barge in, and it's like Big Scales. Big Scales has been an absolute hero. What a player he's been for us. And the amount of detractors he's got, it's criminal. If we'd signed him for Italy, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd be lauded.
It's weird in a way, Jason, that I think some people still basically look at him as the same player that came from Shamrock Rovers in that same time. Like he hasn't progressed. He's clearly fucking progressed. He's progressed for Ireland. He's progressed for us. I mean, when he went off to play with Aberdeen, he progressed up there. I mean, he's a far, far better, far, far more educated and calm and organised player than he was when he first came.
He's without a doubt our most valuable central defender will go to the club. He's fit every week. He gives you good performances every single week. Granted, Carter Vickers is a better player. Carter Vickers is injured all the time. If you look at Carter Vickers' he started with us to now, all right, he missed this season. But prior to that, he hardly played a European away game or a Europe Champions League game and stuff like that, injured all the time. Liam Scales is there and he's always there. And is he the best defender in the world? No, far from it. But he's really, really good, and he's worth his weight in gold for us. And yeah, proper top select player for me.
What is this bullshit about fucking people trying to dig the penalty spot up anyway? Why is the ref not coming and just getting the book out for a few of them?
I know. Do you know what? I've never really seen it happening much. I've seen it happening the odd time, but obviously it's came to the fore now. Scales did it Motherwell, then they did it again. But it's obviously a decent thing to do because it's understandable. Because if nobody's near it and one end just walks by and gets a couple of divots at it or whatever,
I know, but like, if somebody was taking a corner and you went over and tried to scuff up the fucking lane so they couldn't see where the lane was, you'd get a yellow card.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't make much sense. Like, why are they allowed to do that? Or why is it given a pass on? I don't know. But fuck them. It worked out well in the end.
So it was incredible, and then obviously back into the lounge after for a few drinks and just the cuddles, honestly the tears, the cuddles, the smiles. It was just unbelievable. It was so good. So many good people out for the day as well. It was mental. And then the whole day so the next few hours sort of carried on in that spirit until I arrived in a war-torn Merchant City later on in the day.
We just went to Ladyville and that was it. So
I was there with you for a few hours, but then I'd say I was going to go meet a few other people, and my daughter was down there, so I thought I'd go down and see what's going on. And fuck me, man, we'll come back to that later.
No, I just stayed in the Ladyville about 6 or 7. Ellie was going to Madrid early in the morning, so me and her just got an Uber home for them, and that was me and him. But what a day, absolutely brilliant.
So Joe, go on, sorry, Jason.
No, that's it. So Joe, give us your rundown. Obviously, you were sitting in the house, but
how
it went.
Well, I wasn't sitting; I was pacing around the room. So basically, I listened to you, and I was in the car most of Friday night. I was up and down from Belfast, and I was nervous, but I wasn't like not sleep nervous until after that podcast. And I was like, "Fuck me, Liam's so confident." And then you got Sean Kelly in the stout sessions all year, going like, "It's happening. Don't worry about it. I'll see you back here in May." So by the time I got home, I went to bed about 1 o'clock, and I was up. I woke at 7 o'clock. I was in fucking Tesco pacing around at 8 o'clock, and then for the rest of the day until the match kicked off, I was just finding activities to distract myself from the stress. And basically, Fiona had organised a wee party for just someone's mates to watch the game. She was making burgers and stuff like that there, and I was trying to stay in good host mode. But see, by fucking 20 past 12 and or 25 past 12, and the players walking the pitch, I was like, I need to have a drink. This is too much. I can't handle this. So I just started cracking up on the way. Fucking 25 past 12 in the house, and then fucking fair play to the young lads that came over to the house. They all locked into the game, watched it. So it was a good buzz. You know what I mean? Watching it with them. But the overall stress and tension and just worry was I was just racking back on my fucking feet constantly the whole game around the fucking room. Just I couldn't sit down. I couldn't sit and enjoy it. Normally I would sit down and enjoy it, but I just could not sit down and actually. I had to be doing something to keep myself, keep the fucking sort of exercise the stress in some way. But overall, it kind of turned into a bit of a fairy tale. I mean, that big tifo at the start of the game was phenomenal, and the way it kind of played out for us in that game, and sort of when it ended, I was kind of like going like, fuck me. I thought back to when I met our column in Dublin over Christmas. I think we lost to Livingston. It was one of the Nancy games. Remember, there was 4 goals at the first.
Oh, we won that day 4-2.
We won that game. That's right.
Yeah.
But that whole period, I remember just thinking how fucking dull and low and kind of fucking low energy and poor. And at that point, we were fucking like sacking podcasts because we didn't want to talk about a lot of what was going on. And I was kind of sitting there going like, fuck, to have that be your reality not that long ago to today, where it's all just come together. And then like the icing on the cake is Callum Osmond scoring the goal. Like, 'cause I mean, that free kick at the end, you're shitting yourself because if it goes into the box, bounces around, and they get a goal, fucking you've lost it. But once it breaks to Callum McGregor, and you know there's no goalie, and you see, and if you watch, I don't know if it was on the unique angle, it was one of the highlights I seen before the free kick was taken. You can see McGregor telling Osmond, "You need to push out further. You need to push out further towards the halfway line."
I mean, fully in the full knowledge, going like, if this breaks, I'm fucking playing a long ball up to you, and that is exactly how it happened. And you just watch, and the drum footage was fucking amazing. Watching the fucking fans waiting for him to get up and just slap the ball into the goal was amazing. It was just my favorite part. You go ahead.
Sorry to pull you back there. Just two things. Sorry, but see that the tifo. I just wanted to mention that Jason, that really got me started when I saw Tommy Burns on that. That was starting to pull on the heartstrings completely, and I thought it was terrific. Then it was so good.
Some of their tifos are just amazing.
Yeah, that was so good. Joe, do you find it worse in the house than being at the game, like nervous wise?
Yeah, actually I do. Do you know what? I find myself when I'm at the games to be quite kind of calm, because it's very much, well, what's going to fucking happen is going to fucking happen. There's a certain element of watching it on TV going like, fuck. I don't know, there's almost like a kind of dramatic effect to it, because I suppose you should watch it on TV. I mean, but yeah, I find when I'm at the games, I'm just very much kind of quiet.
Yeah. And see, on the corner thing you mentioned there is interesting, because this season we've had every player back in the box for corners, right, including Maeda. And I've always had this thing in my head to say, see, if you've got like Maeda and Osmond, or Maeda and someone else, when we're defending a corner, I would say to them, one of you stand on the halfway line, right on the touch line on one side, and one of you go the other side, because then you bring in at least three or four players, because you either take a gamble and man mark and we one in the middle, but there's a big gap between them there, or you have to double mark them. But now, I know people are saying you clear the ball out, you leave in the middle of the pitch free, but it's a bit of a gamble in it, in terms of, right, well, it's a bit of a psychological thing. And jump into the Villa game very quickly last night. Before
they left four players.
Yeah, and then they scored about 2 minutes later, which was weird. But sorry, Joe, just wanted to mention that while you touched on it.
One of the things that is frustrating, I mean, you touched on it, was Taneke. I mean, at the point now he gets the ball, my first thought is this is going to wind up a trusty in about, I don't know, eight passes from now. Right? Not even, maybe 6 passes from now, it's going to wind up back with trusty, because it's just like, and you can really see his deficit whenever the likes of Forrest and that comes on. You're hanging onto the ball, making things happen. I mean, drawing players in. Whereas I think is Taneke a bit of a fucking show pony in some ways, because a lot of what he does doesn't really go anywhere. I mean,
the amount of times he comes back, but that's his first season under Nicholas Kuhn. His first season was rubbish, and then he come on to be some player. Do you think that's possible with Taneke? I'm not entirely sure.
Nah, not the same level at all, man. Not at all.
But I think he's got everything. You know, I think with the right coaching and the right belief in himself, he's got all the tools there. You know,
is he a bit Mikey Johnson?
Yeah, for me, more that he's nowhere near the level of Kuhn, I don't think. Although saying that, Kuhn's barely kicked his ass since his move to Como. You know, he's barely played.
His first season was useless.
Yeah.
They had that toothache or something like that. They were saying, I don't know, but whatever. But do you know what? It could be like, you never know, because I do believe, see when you see him when he's in full flow and he's playing well, he's got everything. You know, he's got the ability to do it, but he just doesn't. He cuts inside and turns back, and it's the side foot pass back and shimmies about. And
but is it a lack of ability, or is it a lack of courage and a bit of belief?
I think it's a lack of courage and belief.
Yeah, totally. I'd never forget Balikwisha, you know, when he made his debut for us at Ibrox, and first touch of the ball, he's isolated one-on-one against Super Tav. You know, why would you not just go for it? Do you know what I mean?
I know. But these wingers are very frustrating, right? But you just think to yourself, the proper coaching and the proper belief and the direct telling them, hit that byline, just go by them, see if they beat you, do it again. You know, do the right thing. Don't be cutting inside.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, just tell them. But
see if you think about that, Jason, and we'll come to it later. Talk about the manager. We've got 2 attacking wingers on the coaching staff.
I know, Sean Maloney.
Yeah.
I know.
Two-footed. Because I was thinking, why not bring McGeady or someone in and train them? But you're like, well, hold on, you've already got the players. You know, obviously following them didn't do much with us, but Maloney was brilliant at kind of doing that stuff.
player of the year. I mean, the
Yeah.
time he signed for Villa, I was there. I was in the bus going into the town to work, and we'd sell him, and I was devastated because what a player he was. He was top draw. When he come back, he was decent, but he wasn't the player he was. But at that time, when he was young, when he left to go to Villa, what a player he was.
Yeah.
He was absolutely outstanding.
Oh, definitely. And Joe, did you watch the build-up and stuff? Were you listening? Because I don't think Boyd was on, was he? I think. Was he?
I watched a wee bit of it. I didn't watch a lot of it. Again, I want to see the shit I was doing. I was fucking hoovering the dogs. I was pulling shit into the shed. I was cleaning this, cleaning that.
Hoovering the dogs.
I was spending any activity to distract myself.
Joe, what's hoovering the dogs? What does that entail?
You get a hoover, you hoover your dog.
You hoover the dog. All right, because Toffee's no one. Is that dogs that cast? You just hoover them?
Aye. Well, someday, if they let you, they let you.
Right. I didn't realise that was a thing.
That was a euphemism for something sexy.
I hear a hoover, you fucking. It has curls and then the hoover.
By the end of your hoover.
Aye, the hoover of the blank.
Well, no, I mean, I watched everything at the end, but see, when all the coverage finished, I had to go and lie down, man. I was emotionally and physically spent. Like, I had to go and lie down for about an hour.
Oh, I can't imagine watching that game in the house. I couldn't imagine it. You know, there was actually a bit of me, see, like in the second half, there was a bit of me thinking about just leaving the game and just going for a walk. It was getting that bad. You know, it was but I just fucking held it together sort of thing. But it's just, I think it was the full season. You were kind of, there was a bit of me saying, fucking Hearts deserve this. Do you know what I mean? We're shite. And I was kind of trying to convince myself that it just wasn't going to happen. But then we started playing in the second half, and it definitely was a game of two halves. The first half, we were awful. Hearts bossed us totally. And obviously, they're fucking ruining tactics, etc. But the second half, once I thought Iniacho was outstanding.
Oh yeah.
The ball was like glue to him. You know, he was outstanding. I would give him another year deal.
See if he just had an extra yard of pace.
I think he's got that yard of pace.
Yeah.
See when the ball's near him, when he has to have it, I think he's got it.
See when you think about, like, you know, the theory that Premiership players are too good to play in Scotland, right? And we know it's bullshit, but like in general terms, that's probably how they look at themselves. But see the way he was controlling the ball and just like flicking it around players, like it was almost like he was toying with them. Do you know what I mean? His touch was incredible, and he's got that yard of pace in his head, Joe. You know, which is the thing you need.
As soon as the ball comes to him, he's got a plan. You know what I mean?
His first touch is sublime.
The way the one where he hit the post where he kind of rode. What a wee move! Like,
totally deserved a goal. Deserved a goal.
I would give him another, even if he's relatively the same fitness wise. He's still the sort of player you want to be bringing on with 20 minutes to go. Do you know what I mean? He's 29. Not sure. I know we talked about this last week, but surely a full pre-season, fucking personal trainer, whatever. Surely he can get to a level of being able to start games and play games, and he's totally bought into it for me as well. Like, you can see how much he's
interviewing at the end and all. He was like, and when he was the one that, to me, before it actually been announced, he sank his knees and looked up to say a prayer before it had been said, goal given, you know. And without a doubt, I think the guy's phenomenal. And if it wasn't for him as well, these important goals. I said to you at the weekend you were going to look in it. I don't know if you have, Liam, but have you compared this season with the centenary year? Because the centenary year was in folklore when the video came out. Everybody must have had the VHS video. The centenary year, right? And I've watched it. I've never seen it for years, right? But me, John, and Joe used to just sit and watch it fucking at least once a week, right? And there was a bit when Billy Conley was talking about it, and he says there's something magical about this team. He says, you're just saying to yourself, I think it's all right, there's a minute to go, you know, like fucking settle. And that, and I think this season, obviously, times maybe clouded my judgment, But this season, to me, seems that we've had more last-minute winners or last couple-of-minute winners than we did in the centenary year.
Well, last week I read 8-11, and then obviously I've updated that to 12 now on the back of our game. You know, I mean, 87 and 98 looking at the last game of the season as well. So I'll have a look. I'll go back and have a look, mate, when I get 5 minutes on that one. Interestingly, I did have a quick look just as we were coming on tonight. So Hearts finished on 80 points this season. So how many times do you think that would have won them the league in the last 15 years?
No many.
Yeah, none. Not once.
No, none. Wouldn't think so.
We won it on 80 back in season 19-20, but we had something like 40 something goal difference, but they're not near that. And then we won it on 82 once, 82 points, 17-18, but again had a big goal difference. So you know, if they'd have reached 82 on that last game, but so they would never have won the league. So they've had an amazing season for them. And they've improved so much, but you know, 80's only won it once in 15 years.
But the taking away for I remember I said it on this podcast. That's one thing I did say, right? But I was kind of trying to clutch at straws. But when it went to the split, and obviously the fixtures were announced, and we had the favourable fixtures between us, Rangers and Hearts. But Rangers at the time were the big favourites. They had the momentum. You know, they looked as if they were going to, because their game before the split was Falkirk and they won 6-2. So you're saying to yourself, so they I don't know if they went odds on in the bookies, but near enough, even money or whatever. And I think we were maybe second favourites and Hearts were third favourites at the time, even though Hearts were top of the league. And I did say on here, I says, because at the time, every Rangers fan expected them to win the league. You know? Yeah,
after Falkirk, they did, absolutely. But, you know, I agree with you, Jason. I was saying all along, look, I think the fixtures have fell into our lap, right? But only on the basis that we had our better games first. But if you turn that round and you look at it, right, so we played Rangers on the Sunday, Motherwell away on the Wednesday, and then Hearts at home on the Saturday. So 6 days, we had the top 3 teams around us, you know, our biggest rivals sort of thing. And the other thing we touched on last week but didn't go into, but we've got Alistair Johnson just coming back from injury. Massive. And he played all 3 games in 6 days, and normally you can't do that. You know, you can't put someone that soon back through 3 games. Tierney played all 3 games, and we know his fitness. So that was a massive ask for us, you know, to play those 3 in 6 days. Right. That's where the fixtures kind of flipped. Now, in the last 5 games, the last 3 games, we were losing in all of them.
Aye, that's right.
And come back and won them all. So, you know, there's a lot gone against us to a degree as well there to get through that. Aye. Fucking unbelievable.
But my point was, see when it came to the split, right, Rangers were big favourites, and I says, would you take, if you had to bet your life on it, would you take Celtic and Hearts or Rangers? And we were all a wee bit like, and I'm like, I would take Celtic and Hearts. But deep down, I thought Rangers were going to win it. But at the end of the day, with the odds, you're getting 2 chances against 1, and it's kind of like a 3-way tie. But the pain that they must be going through now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had it. Never mind Hearts' pain, their pain. The pain they're going through it. Because it was one of the phone lines or whatever I listened to when I was walking Toffee. And all it was after the Motherwell game. All it was Rangers fans phoning them, moaning about the decision. No Hearts fans, it was them phoning them.
But see, when you say, Jason, they had it right, I think in their minds after the Falkirk game, they were convinced they were going to win it. Because I think I said that on one of the podcasts after that. You know, the league's already won, but I think they were only top of the league for 1 day in the whole season, or like a couple of hours even in the whole season. I
don't think they were top of the league at all over the course of a weekend.
Yeah.
But they believed it. And see, to be fair, the way Danny Rowe had kind of turned them round at that point, but it's turned round, when you look at it now, is it not that when he took over them, I don't know the point difference, they were 10 points behind. And
12, I think it was. 12.
So what did they finish behind?
Well, it would have been one different, but then the last game of the season they won and Hearts
They
lost. So
won.
I think he's closed the gap by 4, I think, over that period, which is not a lot. But I think this has been an amazing season for Scottish football, right? It's put us on the map. Everyone's took an interest. It's great to see the competition. But if you're being honest, it's 3 really average teams that have been, in my opinion, 3 really average teams that have kind of been going through it.
100% agree. But it makes for a better spectacle.
Yeah.
And it's a daft thing to say, right? But see if the league is competitive, and we've said it on here for years, right? See, obviously, we've not even spoke about the managerial. Askew is away now to France. But see if he'd stayed at Motherwell for next year and Hearts took a bit of investment and whatever, and Rangers had kind of get their house in order, and we obviously strengthened and whatever. But if you keep it at that and it's competitive every week, then surely when you go into Europe, you've got a better chance. Especially when you're playing against teams like Motherwell that kind of play like a European side. It's mental to say that, where it's no disrespect to Motherwell players, but these aren't top class football players. But he had them playing like top class. They were playing like a top class team, and it's just it's to me it's gut wrenching that he's went to France and we've not got him.
Yeah. It's worrying as well because it suggests that we've got something in mind, and I don't think it's going to be too appealing. But let's leave that till later. But I hope we're going to be getting in and pinching a few of the Motherwell players now he's away.
You'd want that alleged just for a start, wouldn't you?
Take him in a minute.
Irrespective of who the manager's going to be, there's a couple of no-brainers in there, really. Just
Welsh.
The other two. Well, we've got him back. I made a case for him last week, but I didn't get a lot of support on that one. But
what was the one did you say?
Welsh.
I'll take him back a minute. I'll take him a full roster.
Because see, I know we said that we've got a lot of rebuilding to do, but if you think about, you've got one decent goalie, obviously need another one. You've got Alistair Johnson, Carter Vickers should be fit, Trusty Scales, Welsh, Murray, Tierney. That's a pretty solid back line already. With 1 or 2 additions in there. If we re-sign Iniacho and Osman's there now, you've got 2.
Have you seen Sriracha?
I'd take him all day, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
But then you can just focus on one proper big striker if you've got them 2 kind of fit and available next. And Jota, we don't know what's going to happen with him. I think the midfield's probably going to end up being the big.
Well, let's face it, we're losing Maeda. We're losing Marty, right?
100%.
Then
possibly Yang too.
Aye, potentially. Maybe Engels. If a bid similar to what came in January for Engels, he's off. So you're looking at a full midfield rebuild. We've still got Luke McCowan and all the same.
Yeah, that's kind of where the main work's going to be. Because you think about it, like a defense, you got Carter Vickers coming back, you got Jota coming back on the wing, you've got Osmond up front. Hopefully, you got Iheanacho getting sent up. Hopefully, you're going to send Zarachi up. I mean, so the guts of what's there and what has been effective and good this season will hopefully remain. It's just about bolstering that then.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, right? We need a total new way of playing football because Baez and Maeda dictated the way we played football. You've got a one-half player there, and by the way, I reckon we'll get top money for him. See the way the season's finished and still got a cup final to go, and we've not even mentioned it yet. But see the way the season's finished, I reckon we'll get top money. See the stuff that Tony Watt was going on about. I know he's a bit of a half at times, but it comes across all right in the radio. But they're on about the Bayern Munich players that they can't believe his stats. I mean, Fitbit's stats based now worldwide. Yeah. I think there'll be top class teams will be looking at him.
Yeah, we had this debate 2 years ago. I think. What do you think we'll get from him, Jace?
I would think 20 million.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't think?
just because of his age, and he's not that he's showing any age, but just because of his age, I think he's only got 12 months left on his deal.
Well,
I
I think a lot of that comes down to which league is looking to buy him. Like, I mean, if you're selling him to like a Premiership, you're fucking getting 20 million.
Oh, you're getting 20 million all day long.
Like, you're selling them to like Germany or maybe Spain, you'll get 20 million, maybe get 17. Germany, you might get 17, 18 million for him.
What age is he? 20, 27, something like that? 20, 29?
Probably his age. He's not old. And the thing is,
no.
But here's the thing, right? It's all right saying he's only got a year left in his contract, but say there's
28, so he's only 28.
28. Say there's 4 or 5 teams want him. At the end of the day, they need to pay the money because the other team's going to get him. Doesn't matter if he's got a year left or no. It's not like, I mean, let's face it, we can't go down the road to keep him. No unless he has a remorse of conscience and he's like, you know what, I just don't want to leave this place and I want to sign a long-term deal, and then by all accounts you go like that. But then you've got the thing saying, we really need to cash in now. Because,
but I mean, if you were kind of predict the arc of his career from here on, you'd be thinking like he'd go to the continent, play for somebody of a decent size, make himself a good wage, and then when he wants to head back to Japan, he might stop off in fucking Saudi Arabia, make a fucking other wage, and then just go and retire.
Yeah, I think the Premiership suits him because I think he needs to play in an environment where the game's fast. I don't think like in Italy wouldn't suit him. Germany, pretty exciting, but I was thinking more 10 million, Jason. But I hope we're closer to your figure. Just because whoever buys him, that's the last deal sort of thing. They won't get any resale value on him. But 20 million, I suppose, not a lot of money to English teams. Is it?
You imagine him like, and obviously I watch Everton all the time, right? They've got that Beto up front and stuff like that, right? He misses as many as Maeda misses in front of goal. You know, like fucking paid a fortune for him. The Udinese, more than 20 million. You know, he's fast, but he's not in the same fucking stratosphere as Maeda. There's nobody in the same stratosphere as Maeda.
Well, that's the thing. There's no league in the world that plays at a pace that will scare him.
No. And the thing is, Scottish football's faster than any of the leagues. English football's faster in a more controlled manner, but it's more measured. You know, they've got better, skillful players. You know, it's like they don't lose the ball that much. Yeah. In Scottish football, it's fucking manic, right? So he's going to have an easier time at any league that he goes to. And they won't be able to deal with his tracking back and his pace. They'll be saying, what the fuck is this?
Here's the thing with him, right? See his ability to press. You'd struggle to get that out of 2 players.
Oh, fucking hell. We're going to miss that guy so much. But I'll tell you what, fucking God bless him. He's just, and he deserves it. I hope he gets the best move and just he's fucking happy.
I'm glad you said that, Jason. I'm glad you made your peace with him going because I know how much you love him. Do you know what I mean? And he has to go with our best wishes now. Do you know what I mean?
What he's done at the end of this season. %.
Yeah, definitely.
I always said as well, thinking back, see with Larson, telling Larson that you can stay and run your contract there and sell it. See if you have fucking running a football club, it was fucking madness. You know, you used to punted him the year before for a fortune.
Yeah.
And you should never get into that situation ever. You know, with any football player.
Yeah, I wonder what. Sorry, mate, carry on. Sorry.
No, that's it. On you go.
I wonder what Wolfsburg offered for him. I wonder what the fee was that I'm assuming we agreed at some point and then went back.
I would think it'd have been fucking 10 million-ish or something. I don't think.
Because last year, did not score like 30-something goals or something last year?
What? If you look at Wolfsburg's, go into transfer market or something and see what Wolfsburg's pay for players, I wouldn't think they would pay.
No,
they pay more than us, but I don't think they would pay. It's not like a Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich or anything like that.
Are the club decent enough though to let him choose? Like, if he just says he wants to go to a particular club and the money's the money, are the club decent enough to go like, you know what, fair play, on you go? Or are they going to fucking play the game?
No, you don't know. Fucking clubs are cunts. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
They might have given all these assurances, but at the end of the day, if Wolfsburg are getting say 12 million and fucking Seville come in with 25 million. I'm like, okay, I've got to Seville, pal.
Nah,
If you like it, lump it.
See, if you look at Bournemouth, I watched a bit of the Bournemouth game against Man City there. Bournemouth's in the Champions League now by virtue of Villa winning the Europa League. They're a really intense, pressing, based team. You know, like I mean, that seems to be the sort of Brentford, kind of Brighton, Bournemouth, that type of move. I think would do well.
Aye, definitely. And obviously, you're going to live in London, or you're going to live up in the south coast of England. But I've never even thought of this before until Johnny Owen said in the podcast, you know, about how these teams are flourishing now. You know, Fulham, Brentford, all these like kind of also ran teams for years are now just Premier League mainstays because they can attract the best players because of where they're situated. It's mad when you think about it.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So I wonder whether he's going to go to the World Cup and do that first before he makes any decisions.
Maybe. And the thing is, Japan normally do no bad in the World Cup. So if he goes there and performs, then fucking can add a couple of fucking digits on his fucking transfer fee.
Right.
I've got no interest in the World Cup, but I was looking through the first few fixtures because I've set up a Predict the League thing for it, and I think Japan have got Holland first game.
The Netherlands.
Netherlands, apologies, yeah.
That one's after you.
Oh, no, I've had that. Yeah, the Netherlands against Japan on the Sunday the 14th, 9 o'clock.
You'd fancy Japan to win, though.
Well, that's the first game I saw that I thought I wouldn't mind watching that one.
Aye.
So, it'd be interesting. But it's good, like you say, everyone's made their peace. So Sweden and Tunisia in the same group. That'd be interesting.
So let's talk about who we think will leave, right? So, do you think there's a chance Alistair Johnson would leave?
I thought that as well the other week. That's I thought people aren't giving that enough credence because I do think he's the kind of player somebody would come in and buy and pay decent money for.
It could be another World Cup thing, though, couldn't it?
Exactly,
Really?
one of the World Cup again.
It's the kind of thing, but Canada, you wouldn't think they'll be ripping up many trees in the World Cup. But
I hope he doesn't. I hope we get one more season out of him.
Aye. How many years he got left?
I don't know.
Probably 2. I don't know. I don't think he's going into his last year.
Signed under Ange, didn't he? So he must be 3 or 4 years ago we signed him.
They not gave him another deal
I'd have thought so.
Because they're running with them now. So you've got maybe him. So what about Rio Hatate? Here's a question as well, right? We've not spoken about the cup final yet. Do you think Rio Hatate will get a run at the cup final? I'd be a bit gutted if he didn't. At the end of the day, I don't think Martin used one of the bands for sentiment, but I think the guy deserves a fucking swan song.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? So he had him in the squad and didn't play him for them last few games, right? But then he didn't in the
squad every game. He wasn't in the squad for the Motherwell game.
No, just the last game. Just the Saturday was the first one he missed out because he come on against Motherwell. I remember.
That's right. It was Saturday.
He come on against Rangers and he come on against Motherwell. But in that period of 4 games, Oxlade-Chamberlain had been on the bench every time and not played once, not had a minute on the pitch. And yet, when he brings Osman back in, rather than take Chamberlain out, he takes Hatate out, which is a bit odd. Oh, I thought anyway. So.
I'd like to see him getting a run at the cup final. I'm not taking it for granted we're going to win, but you would like to have him on the bench and give him the last 10, 15 minutes or whatever. Fingers crossed we're winning. But so he's going to go. What do you think we'll get for him? I wouldn't, and I'll tell you one thing. I think he could be a bargain for somebody.
Right, so we've got him till 2029, June 29. So 3 years still.
3 years left. And, so you're getting top money for him. You get top money for him. If he goes to the English Premiership, we're getting top money. You could be talking 15, 20 million there again. But it'd be a big loss for us,
Yeah.
So you're losing obviously Maeda, you're losing Hatate. What do you get for Hatate? 6 million, 7 million?
Yeah. Something like that. Not a lot.
But I think it'd be a bargain for somebody. You know, if you can get him playing, you can get him fired up. What a player he is.
Probably needs to be in a more technical, maybe Spain or Italy or something, because he's very technically gifted. Talking of super subs, just in the nick of time, so I can go and have a pee and get a beer.
Yes, we have joined by a man whose name this week is Osmond from the halfway lane, Marty Flynn.
Osmond from the halfway lane. Osmond from the halfway lane. Evening,
Hey.
gents.
You good, mate?
I couldn't be fucking better, Josephus.
We were talking about our shenanigans on the day of the game on Saturday. You spent the day in the watermelons, and we got sent a great video of you going fucking mental.
Shaking my chins.
Having a great time. Place going fucking boogaloo. It looked great.
See, when I was doing that, Osmond hadn't even fucking scored. That was him just running.
Just run the
and
pitch.
I just jumped up on a fucking chair. Going fucking do wally.
But that's the thing when that happened. Like everybody's just shouting. There's no fucking goalie. There's no goalie. You just think it's just.
No, here. I'll tell you better than that. So I was sitting beside wee Jordy Whittaker. Anybody who travels to the matches will know Jared, but he wasn't travelling over on Saturday, so I was sitting with him. And when I saw the keeper going up, I turned to him and I said, "This is a fucking stupid move, because if they balls this free up, we have legs in this team. We've got Maeda, we've got Cal McGregor, we've got Osmond, who can all run like fuck." And so it turned out. As soon as I seen that tip off Iheanacho's toe, you're like, "Oh, fucking here we go." So that's why I had telegraphed the fucking thing. So that's how I ended up on a chair before he even fucking scored. You know, so I was up in the chair.
Nostradamus, Flynn. Fucking fair play to you.
It was just written in the stars. It was written in the fucking stars. Hearts are stupid bastards. Like, they really are crazy. And if they had kept the keeper on the lane, not that it obviously would have made any difference, because the time would have ran out. But all he would have had to do was just half fucking Osmond, get himself sent off, and then it would have given them a couple of extra minutes. Do you know what I mean? They're just fucking morons. Like, they've never been in this position before. So no, a great day was had by all over it. Fucking steamboats, some crack.
Outstanding, Marty boy. What was the pressure like? How did you feel once we got the rescue man up?
I felt fine, Jason. I have to say it. Like, we've been on here this last lot of weeks. I thought we'd be at the Huns. I thought we'd be at Motherwell. I was going in the day going, we can do this, no problem. And even I was annoyed. The first half was fairly fucking poor, like, wasn't it? Like, it was just because one of the other fellas stopped beside me, like, when they scored, and he said to me, "We haven't had a fucking shot on target, I don't think, the whole first half." And I was like, "All right, enough, I think you're right." But I seen it coming, and again, the Nostradamus that one too, because it was going when O'Neill was here the first time for set pieces and for corners, he always put a gap on the post. And I'm looking at Johnson standing on his fucking own, scratching his balls, and you're like, walk 3 foot to the fucking post, become a post. And that's exactly where Shanklin scored. But even at that point, I was going, we'll be fine, we'll be fucking sound, keep the faith. And like, even there was like, I think it was like 20 minutes to go or something, so it was like 70 odd minutes, and I was still going, we'll do this, we'll be all right. I just had it in my water that we were going to be okay, you know. And the penalty that they gave away, like, was a cast iron fucking stone wall penalty under these rules. His hand was up, hit his hand. There was no arguing over this fucking penalty the same way there was the previous week. And then, you know, the goal, the Maeda goal was unbelievable, but it was actually a disgrace too. It was a disgrace that the Leeds man flagged that, because he was in absolutely no fucking position to call a foul on that for offside, and he was completely wrong. Do you know what I mean? So, like, that's 2 weeks in a row that's happened, or 2 weeks, in the last 2 weeks it's happened twice.
And the thing is, Marty, if we didn't have VAR, we wouldn't have won the league.
Exactly, just exactly. That's, you took the words out of my mouth, and like, people who listen to this podcast will remember when VAR came in, how fucking angry we were about it, and do you know what I mean? But without a question, it has saved us this week. And not only has it saved us this week, it's also fucking destroyed Hearts today with that footage getting released.
Oh, glad we're getting on to that now.
It has absolutely destroyed them this week. And Derek McInnes hasn't fucking seen all week. And it's no wonder, because he must know what's coming. He fucking must know what's coming. Do you know what I mean? So it was a brilliant day. It was a big squad also. We just had the fucking best of crack. We left the fans and went down to the Rock. And we're in the Rock for a couple of hours as well. And everybody was just in fucking tip-top form. Like, everybody was just so happy. You know, it was back slaps and fucking hugs and kisses and fucking swally all around. Champagne was flying, and it was just a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant day. Do you know? And as the thing said, there's a fairy tale about the club. Billy McNeil said it.
Oh,
There's
aye.
there's a fairy tale about this club, and it's true. It really is
People say
true.
that. See, when we left the game, we ended up getting a bus down the Gala Gate, and then we jumped on the bus. There was a squaddies, and we're getting it louder, and these three boys down the front of it, the Dublin. You're a boy for the HomeBhoys.
The famous Jason Higgins. But here, I'll tell you another thing too. The crowd I was out with, two of the fellas that were with me on Saturday were with me on Black Sunday. And we were just talking about it. We're like, fuck me, here we are, 20 years on, you know, still watching the games together and hoping for a better result today. No fucking helicopter needed in the fucking sky today, you know. So, like, it was just brilliant to see Martin O'Neill back. You know, it was just fucking, you know, back lifting trophies was just fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Like, it's just, it's like a fever dream, you know what I mean? Like, who would ever have... if somebody had said the years ago, listen, he'd be back in 22 years. he'll get his fucking own back and everybody, do you know what I mean? You'd be just going, aye, no problem, mate. It's fucking sound. What are you drinking? What are you having? Do you know? But for him to do it and to come back that way, and I don't know how deep you have got into the match, but technically, brilliant. And when Trusty came off, and the mate says to me, fuck, he must be injured now, Matt. Does he? Fuck, I says, he's going to switch here. This is a tactical switch. Look who's coming on. And he's like, fucking hell, right? And I said, just wait and see. I think this is going to end up 3-5-2. And away they went. And you're just like going, so fucking smart. And the mate that tapped me in the shoulder, when Braga names were coming on, remember they made a triple sub? And he said to me, they're going for this. They're going to go for this. And I went, well, we'll have to change. We'll, you know, to cope with all those forwards. And fucking so approved.
Well, it's interesting you say that, though, because we were saying how poor we were tactically for the first 70 minutes. McInnes had kind of outdone us a bit. Just before we carry on, Joe, do you want to introduce the...
Yeah, I'm just going to get to that. We're joined by a man who's stateside, I believe, Marty Fashion. Marty, how you doing?
All right, lads, how's it going?
Marty,
Marty.
Bye.
Hello.
Are you in NYC or are you in LA?
I'm in Southampton at the moment in New York, out in the Hamptons, doing some
the
work.
Hamptons, oh, fuck.
Hamptons, there we go.
Trust me.
When in gold.
It's not very glamorous. It's pissing down the rain. It's pissing from the heavens.
We just want to introduce us all to the fucking... we just want to introduce us all to the Great Gatsby.
He's out in the Hamptons robbing houses, folks.
So how you feel, Marty? So obviously we went through it, and obviously you were there with a good night Saturday night. So what was your feelings, mate?
It was good. So I booked my flight last Tuesday, bang on 2 p.m. because you get a 24-hour cancellation, and 2 p.m. would have been the end of the game. LA, so I had 24 hours to cancel it in case it didn't go well, v Motherwell. And I'm watching the game, and it was about 5-2, and we're just about at the end of the game, and I was like, oh fuck, that's it done. Was about to walk out the pub, and then we're always behind by about a minute or two, just the way it goes, watching Celtic TV, and I started getting all these WhatsApp notifications, for fuck's sake, oh my, like all the stuff you get. So I kind of hung about, and I see the penalties given, and then before I know it, my phone's told me that Ian actually scored. So obviously, Glory Hunter ran right back in the pub, jumped about. Then I text my wife because I texted her at half time saying, "Oh, well, fucked it." Text her saying, "Oh, I'm going to Glasgow in the morning." She's like, "All right, cool." Flew into Edinburgh, through to Glasgow, met up with my dad and a few boys in the toll booth. Met New York Tommy McEwen on Friday night. Yeah. Thought I'd had two or three pints. I think I'd about 13 pints. Woke up pretty rough the next day. Met all the boys in Denniston on Duke Street for something to eat. Meandered down to the game. Had the game. Went back to the Ladywell where we met, obviously, Liam and Joe, Jason and all the boys. And we went to Babbitt's after that, which was hilarious. I've never seen Babbitt's. Usually pretty pretentious in there. Don't particularly like it myself, but they shot Babbitt's early because it was just a rebel rousing session in there. It was me and Joe. I don't know if Joe told you that, Jason, but me and Joe were in there, all the boys, and it was just mental. All well behaved stuff. It was nothing like out of order, but it was really fun in there. Back to my mate's house. A few of the boys were out till 5 or 6 in the morning. Next day, met my dad in the toll booth again. We'd done a couple of Fenian slop houses in the Gallagate, and then I flew to New York on Monday. It was pretty rough, to be honest. There's a few sad jambos in Edinburgh Airport Monday morning. It was quite nice to see, and fucking I still feel rough because I've not done a 3-day drinking, 3 days drinking tenants in a long time. So it was incredible. I don't know if I think it's the best day I've ever been watching Celtic, but there's been so many. It was special because I was standing beside my dad, my brother, my sister, my nephew, and a bunch of my mates, and I think I knew I'd kick myself for life if I didn't come for it. And it just worked out that I had some work in New York, so on the way back, it all just stars aligned, you know.
So tell me, see when we scored the goal, right? Obviously with the emotions, how were you for the next 10 minutes?
A mess. I was a mess, but it was brilliant when even my dad was pretty calm about Celtic. We were all pretty a mess. But when Osman got up into Hearts' half, we just turned around. We didn't even look. We were just jumping about because we knew that had been done, you know. But I'll tell you, it's brilliant because obviously I live in LA, so I'm not at the games anymore. The amount of bevying that goes on inside that stadium.
Allegedly.
I seen a guy allegedly with a 6-pack of tenants just fucking walking about. I'll not say which section I sit in, but there was a lot of boys with 6-packs snitching here.
But me and Liam were talking about it as well. See when we scored the second goal to go 2-1 up. Like before that, I'm up bawling and shouting and getting behind the team and all that. And see when that second goal went in, I couldn't even talk. I was just saying prayers and everything. I was just totally going.
I think my dad was saying prayers to my dead grandpa, and I could see him doing something, you know. But I heard you mention Trusty a second ago, and I don't know. I must be in the minority, but I thought Trusty had a great game, and I thought everyone's like, he didn't release the ball, nobody released the ball too, and I was getting annoyed with him. What's that?
He teared me about 10 times.
I know.
Tierney was out in the left wing.
But also, you know, I just don't know if that's his pass every time. So I thought Liam Scales was one of the best games I've seen. Liam Scales won every ball against Shankland. Yeah. The only guy I didn't give past Marty would probably been Tenecki, and we know about what he's done, you know. No, it was a special day around special people, and just I think all the stars aligned. And a few of my dad's pals at half time for the Cumbernauld bus were saying, it's no worries, be calm, it's all for the TV cameras, we'll fucking beat them 3-1. I didn't feel like that.
The amount of folk bet 3-1 as well. See, after the game, the amount of folk
my sister bet it. My sister bet it for her son. 3-1 Maida at any time was, I think, 2021. I think it was. Just a brilliant day, brilliant weekend, and like it was. The only annoying thing for me was on the Sunday, none of my pals were out really because they were all fucked from the day before. So I text everyone. Nobody was up for the toll booth on a Sunday afternoon, which was they do it every week though. Obviously, I'm just a tourist in town, so I get it. But you just have to do it again this weekend. So
we were out on the Sunday. I was in the tavern in the King Lud, and the wind has only started speaking to me yesterday.
I'll tell you what's amazing about the Gallagate these days. Like just the amount of like young people on a Sunday out, like listening to the music and the Celtic pubs and all that. It's brilliant. I don't really remember that as much when I was younger, but there's a lot of them, you know, and Connolly's and all that, and Sunday and Graces and Tollbooth, they actually all took a bit of time to get going. I was in there like 6 o'clock, and that was it just getting busy. So I think people were just obviously getting around from the night before. But I wish I was there this weekend, but unfortunately I need to watch it just on the house that I'm staying in out here. There's not even a pub out here. There's an Irish bar, but it doesn't open till 11. So the game's I think the game will be at 10 out here. So
can you not make it into the city? Is it too far?
No. It's 3 hours into the city, and then
That's it.
aye, easy. It's also
It's
Memorial.
Memorial.
It's Memorial Day weekend as well, so the way back will be longer. It's a holiday weekend.
On the Monday, that's right. Yeah.
Aye, and then I'll fly back to LA on Sunday morning. So
I didn't realise the Hamptons were that far away. Is the Hamptons no Long Island?
Aye, Long Island. Obviously, it's to get out to leave the city on a Friday and try and get to Montauk, which is the town further east, can take up to 5 hours sometimes. Aye. But it's funny, they always get shite weather this in Memorial Day weekend, so it's pissing down right now.
It's still warm, but
no, it's not warm today. It was decent yesterday. But I was speaking to a few of the boys at the Manhattan CSC yesterday. Said they were the busiest they've been, I think, all season on Saturday. And they're expecting the same again this weekend. So, because it's a good time for them this weekend, it's 10 for them. They'll get a decent turnout. But even our LA club, I've not spoke to you all season, but we've had a tough season. Barely anyone in for any games, just about 10 hardcore. And I think we had about 45, 47 in for the game at 4 a.m. last weekend. So they're there, but just sometimes, like I've told you, you can't force people to come.
The Motherwell game, how many was in for that? Obviously, it's a later kicker, but it's during the week and people are working.
There was only, I think there was about 80s. It was funny. The boy from Mogwai, the band for Glasgow, he was in. Oh. He watched it with us, Stuart. Really nice guy. I actually went for a pipe with him on Sunday as well in Glasgow. But we've not opened a midweek game all season, I don't think. We didn't open for the Europa Leagues, as I said, because we've been shite. Nobody's been interested. Again, when I spoke to you boys last year, I think I was telling you how good it had been. This year, just we didn't get that many members signed up, and we didn't. Even some of the Huns games had like 10 people at them. Aye. So hopefully next season, new manager and all that stuff, we'll get back on track. And a lot of the clubs I've been speaking to in America were feeling had the same kind of thing this season. New York probably didn't. Don't know if they get as affected as much, but everywhere else seems to have been struggling with some numbers. Some clubs, some random clubs like in Tennessee and the guys in Detroit and stuff, I think they're still pretty healthy. But speaking to some of them, and it's been a hard season for everyone. I think just people wake up at 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. for the game, and team are shite. They'll just switch on the TV,
Marty, what sort of numbers would the English games get over there?
Oh, hundreds.
In the pubs. Yeah.
Yep. Like I think I told you last time we used to be in the club was in Joxer Dailies for years, and Liverpool started coming in there, and some games they had 200 in there, and we had a TV in the corner with no sound on. So that's how we eventually. That's one of the reasons why we kind of left. But there's a Tottenham pub in my neighbourhood that gets 250 for every Tottenham game.
Right.
Or the big games, the big ones. Sorry, I'd say, but 100 they get.
How many of them would the Cockneys?
5. If you're lucky. Aye. And there's no Scousers at that Liverpool one when they were coming up. It was all Mexicans and American boys. They just choose a team and then they all come out. But fair fucks them. What they do is, and why the bars like them is they all drink. They're all there getting steaming, and that's one of the problems we have as well. Nobody drinks at our games. They're 4 a.m. and you need to drive there. So
yeah.
Fair play to the Scousers. No many Scousers go to Anfield either. So keep them in the fucking trend.
The pubs in neighbourhoods where there's like a community, so like where I live, the reason that pub will do well, these young guys can walk to the pub and back, Same. That's why there's also a lot of like football pubs in Santa Monica, because you can walk. It's pretty easy in there, and a lot of like young professionals live there as well. The kind that would just choose a team and decide they're, soccer fans type of thing. So, but it's been interesting to segue into the World Cup for a second. In LA, you wouldn't know there's a World Cup happening. No mention it anywhere. And when I was in New York, what's that?
Marty Flynn's been on So Marty, you can tell us, because obviously it came on the BBC the day, right? So Marty, you were the first one that said it a few weeks ago to us on the go.
He's just disappeared for 5.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you there?
I haven't
Sorry.
left yet. Yeah. I just need to nip in the house room, not to sort of wee lot out. But no, it just seems to be number one. I think Trump has just been a total fucking buzzkill,
Yep.
over the whole thing. But also too, like they just gouged everybody. Do you know what I mean? The hotel prices were a fucking shambles. The ticket prices were a shambles, and people just went, you know what? Nah. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's fuck it, and like the Scottish people, like I was listening last week to one of the radio shows, and there was a Scottish fan on, and he was saying, "Look, me and my brother have taken out a £10,000 loan," and he says, "We might have to take out more if Scotland go further, but that's basically our budget at the minute, £5 each." Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like that's fucking insane." Do you
Yep.
know what I mean? And he says that's before we've bought a drink or a dinner or a steak or anything. That's just really our flights, our hotels, and our match tickets. So like, who the fuck can afford that? What ordinary fan can afford that? So I think everybody has just said no. We're not playing ball anymore.
They announced
And the
today
whole,
there's some cities announced, can't remember what cities, that the hotel rates, cancellations have been 70%.
yeah, but apart from that too, like the prices anyway were they doubled and tripled their prices anyway. So if they just had
Yep.
left the fucking prices where they were, the chances are that I had full houses. But people were just going,
I know.
I can't afford to pay this. I
Two
don't
steak
have this money.
two steak tacos last night in the restaurant across from where we were working were $46.
Do you know what I mean? So like that's fucking.
They're $3 each in LA off like a street vendor, and here they were $46 last night.
So how can your average football fan from La Boca in Argentina
I know.
afford to come? It's impossible. And that's
I'm
before
going to
you get into the
I'm going to the USA Australia game up in Seattle with my Australian mates, and
very good, brilliant.
a standard hotel room, shite hotel that was usually $150, $200 is $900.
Oh fuck's sake! Like what the fuck?
Aye.
And that guy was saying, like the Scottish fan, I'm fairly sure he said it was 500 quid for a ticket to watch Scotland play Haiti.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? That's just,
I think one of the boys at the
fucking
CSC bought a ticket for the Brazil game, and I'm sure, hopefully I'm quoting this right, I think he said it was $2,000, $2,000, but it's hospitality.
Listen, I don't know.
Watch them get
Like,
pumped.
how would
in
they
the fucking
expect people?
I know.
And they can't expect people to pay that. And also, then this is before we even get into the political stuff with ICE and Iran, and even the way your man Infantino and all has been fucking behaving. It's been a complete turn off. And I have to say, it's been coming for fucking years. This has been coming. The way they have behaved over the World Cup has just been fucking. Like, I don't even really. I was saying to Scott. Me and Scott had an argument about it recently, and I was going, I can't even remember the last World Cup. I cannot actually sit here and go, rame out the matches, and I can rame out all the matches from when I was a child. Do you know what I mean? And it's just been a complete turn off. But I think it's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? I think that they took it to the Middle East and they made a cunt of it there, and now they've took it to America and they've made it worse. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, how the fuck could you make this worse? And the fucking have managed it. Like, it's just diabolical.
I'm just surprised in terms of also how over commercialized America is, that in LA you barely see it. Even I was in New York on Monday night and out for dinner, and that didn't see it mentioned once. And when I say mentioned, I mean like on buses or in the advertising.
Yeah.
I didn't see it anywhere, nowhere at all.
And like, and Los Angeles would have a big Hispanic and Mexican population there, so like you would imagine they'd be buzzing for it. Like,
I know.
Marty, you remember the last time they had the World Cup there, and it was like McDonald's had a fucking campaign, Coke had a fucking campaign, Burger King had a campaign. Is any of that happening?
The only one I've seen is Miller Lite. I've done one. And the weird thing is, I've seen a few of the big brands that you're saying, but I've not seen them out and about. I've seen them on the internet. I've not seen them. People just like commenting on, I like this campaign, I didn't like this campaign. I've not seen them in real life, out in the streets kind of thing. And you used to see them at the supermarkets, didn't you? Remember growing up, they'd be on the beer, on the beer packets. None of that.
Budweiser were massive.
Yeah, I'm sure Bud and Miller probably have them. I don't drink either of those two, so I've probably just not seen them. But
I saw the Miller
No, but
like
I'm saying
football.
this is
Aye,
this is the
aye.
point
With 12 cans.
this is
aye.
this is the point I'm making, right? I can't tell you a match from the last World Cup, but I can tell you who fucking sponsored the 1984 fucking World Cup. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
absolutely crackers. Like, so it has been a real drain. So, and then like they don't even know, like, if the Iranian team turn up, are they going to arrest them? Do you know what I mean? So it's shit like that. So people are going, you might buy a match to go and watch a fucking team who end up being arrested
Yeah.
and can't play because there's
Well,
been no guarantees given. Do you know?
Does
insane.
anybody think that, like, when this is actually happening on American soil in these matches and there's fans there of some degree, that Trump isn't going to somehow fuck it up even further? Because he just can't
No,
be out of the spotlight
it's
every
just
single fucking day of the week to talk about
Before I go, I wanted to ask you one thing about, especially Jason, obviously being close to him. How do you think Kieran's got on this season?
I think he's done brilliant. See, to be honest with you, I think he's got his fitness levels up. And I think he's been excellent this season, to be honest with you. I think it started off a wee bit, you were all a bit worried. And, you know, you didn't know. There was a point maybe about a quarter of the way through the season, you're like, was this the right move for us? You know, it was like, but see now, he's like playing, he can play full games and whatever. And I think I don't think he had his best game at the weekend, right? But he won us the penalty, and he was there in the right position a dozen times, but never get the ball.
I know. I was going to say, like, see if Taneke had made the different run. You could where we sit, you could see it the whole game. That first half, you were like, if Taneke moved in, Kieran can go, but he didn't move.
No, Taneke, disaster, and I think that
disaster, my boy.
But I think Kieran overall has been a massive success, and do you know what? I'm absolutely delighted because I was worried, you know, obviously his injury concerns and everything like that. But I think he'll be quite, because he looks as if he's back to like peak fitness now.
Yeah,
and he's a quality player. And
I think he's got a level to go still, Jason. I think he's still got a level to go fitness wise.
No, fitness wise, but I think. See, getting this under his belt,
100%, yeah,
the full season, and see next season, I think it's here we go, and it'll be future, because maybe Calmac, obviously, I don't know how long he's got left or whatever, but he'll be a future captain, and it's like having guys like him. His interview, I was in tears listening to his interview. You know,
that was great.
This was the one we wanted, and like I'm just delighted for him, and obviously he would have had offers. I mean, he obviously did have offers to go to Premier League clubs and earn double, treble the money that he's earning at Celtic. But he wanted to come back to Celtic, and I'm just so delighted for him that it's worked out. And
brilliant.
A lot of folk had a lot of doubts about him. What do you think yourself, Marty?
I think he's been good. I've been frustrated a few times at games when he does that turn back thing. It's been pissing me and a bunch of other boys at the club off when he does. Again, on TV, you obviously see the game differently, but
that's because nobody's making the run.
I know, but it's frustrated me a few games when you're like, go, and he just does that turn back thing he does on his left foot, and you know, I know he has to because he's no other option, but that's maybe other problems with the team. But I think he's been great. Just that turn back thing can be frustrating. But a lot of players do it, don't they? We've been doing it a lot recently.
And by the way, think of the important goals he scored for us as well this season.
And his assists as well. He's up there with a good bunch of assists. Listen, lads, I need to run back into work. Just come and say hello, but it was great chatting with you.
Marty, good to hear everybody.
God bless, mate.
Cheers, lads. Thanks. Speak soon. Bye.
There you go. International man, fucking mystery. Marty Fish.
The HomeBhoys bring you. The HomeBhoys bring you.
Fucking. I don't know if Scott's going to come on, but I think we should get talking about the controversy and the rage and the pain that followed the game. I mean, we know from pitch invasions they're not really well received, especially if they're fucking Celtic pitch invasions. One of my favorite parts of any of the footage is Colby Donovan going fucking nose to nose with the Hearts fucking bench and giving as good as he got.
Never mind that. What about Colby Donovan pitch invading it for
he's in about it, huh?
There's a guy in our lounge turned around to me and says, "Remember that Donovan run? Looked like a Ned for a scheme." That's what he said to me. I was like, Do you come for a scheme? Oh, I says, well, I come for a scheme. I says, didn't look like an Ed for a scheme for me. He looked like me when I was younger. And I says, I was fucking delighted for him. And he walked away. Oh.
Fuck him.
That was brilliant. Was it not photos of him with Ralston and stuff, and the player he's trying to take over, and then Engels as well. Engels turns around like, who the fuck's this? And then it's Colby Donovan.
He clocks him after like a second.
So good.
But so I mean, the controversy was obviously the pitch invasion, and then the possible investigation of the fact the game never actually finished, which was put to bed completely today. And the SFA put out a statement on footage and audio to let everybody hear that the game was actually finished. I mean, the levels of delicious pain this week have been fucking monumental. People making absolute fucking clowns of themselves, and just to sit back, I suppose, after the kind of tension and drama and the fucking stress of the weekend, sit back and watch that just kind of all kick off. It's just great. It's hard not to be consumed by the fucking pain sometimes. I mean, it kind of almost boosts your fucking glow from winning. So
it's been amazing, mate. It's been madness, honestly, complete madness.
We're on day 6, right? So let's count it back to what stage of the rage are we at now? Because the thing is, there's things coming out every day that put certain bits of the rage to bed, and we've nearly get rid of it all with factual evidence, and they're still coming. And it's just, what's the driving factor for them all?
Well, I'd say 6 days in, we've gone past it. This is fucking terrible. This should not stand. Investigations, inquests, fucking the hearts of the people's champion, blah. And we're at day 6. We're now at like, just a Fenian bastards anyway. So fuck us.
And don't forget the FBI getting involved.
The FBI, because you got American owners. Cash Patel's going to come kicking in the fucking door.
Anyway, and I tell you, a special mention's got to go to Martin O'Neill here. See the way he's dealt with him. And he went out and talked sports straight away and put that fucking Jordan and Jim White in their place.
Aye.
What
I like was in the press conference, and the journalist was like, well, you must have seen it. He's like, come on a second. He goes, I just told you that I didn't see it. You can't come back and tell me that I must have seen it. I didn't see it. Right? I was like, yeah, good, fucking stick him to the wall. Like they were trying to ramp up the tension and the drama of what happened in order to get fucking column inches in the paper. And he's basically just saying, you're not getting that. You just can go off and fucking report whatever you want. You can speak to Derek McKenna, you can speak to fucking anybody else you want. You can have all the fucking rage merchants you want on, but I'm not fucking feeding into this. We won fucking league and it's done. We'll move on. I know. But only a guy like him with his kind of head and shoulders and his experience can really fucking, absorb that and make that happen. I know. And there is the massive difference as well between him and McInnes. McInnes is appears to be that sort of angry, pissed off kind of guy who's looking at every chance to fucking punch down. I mean, he likes to fucking wind people up. I mean, pointing at players, pointing fucking getting his face in the dugouts. They want to fucking choose on the other foot. I mean,
but you never see Matt O'Neill like raging. Like you'd never hear him raging like against like the time we lost to Juventus with the Amoruso decision.
Aye.
Like he's raging then. It's after a game and he knows there's been a massive injustice to our team, right? But Derek McInnes coming out after Hearts have beat Falkirk and turning around and saying disgraceful about a decision at a Celtic game. You would never hear Mark O'Neill saying anything like that ever.
No, he wouldn't. And I mean, there's the difference. You just kind of said that, just like when you've seen Martin O'Neill have his kind of peak of anger. I'd throw in fucking post Seville as well when he was going on about the fucking keeper. He was raging about that too. But it's an anger that's drew from a passion for fucking
Aye.
either.
Somebody get passionate about
Yes.
your
Aye.
team.
Whereas McKenna's comes off like he has a chip on his shoulder.
Aye. And then obviously the audio's been delivered the day.
And once you listen to that, you think, well, that's done. It's done now.
Aye. Unbelievable. It's been wild and just fucking it's been incredible. Just the conspiracy theorists that are coming out now, and like they actually in that article you've all shared about the lassie that wrote it. Couldn't tell you her name. Who was it?
Forgot her name. Filipino.
About Celtic. People are actually calling Celtic the establishment club now. That's fucking incredible. Incredible.
And it was Kelly Given.
Kelly Given.
Article is called Hysteria Over Title Win Lays Bare Deeper Unease. Very, very well written. Very good.
Right. And it's they think for a minute that we are the establishment club. Jesus. Oh, it's beautiful and magical.
It's great. It's great to see them sit there and go like. First, sit back and go, what mistake you're making here is you're confusing what you think is controversy and cheating to some degree with what for on our end is just that fairy tale vague.
No, for our end, it's just fair. But we're actually getting to the stage where we're on a level playing field now. Just think how many trophies Celtic could have won out of our illustrious history if there was a level playing field for day dot. Think about
Man. Well, it's been a good week. It's been a really good fucking solid week of just smiling. And I know it was good. People I know who watch who are big in the English teams like Arsenal and Aston Villa stuff, they said to me, they said, I was watching that, so like everybody I know was watching it. Like, it was in the Wall Street Journal, it was in the New York Times, you know what I mean? It was fucking all across the world.
Aye. There's a wee lad I work with, he's a Stoke fan. He goes to he's not got a season ticket, he goes to every away game and get a ticket, goes to his home games. And he watched the full game. It was as soon as Monday morning we were working. He's like, what was it like? What was it? He's dying. He's like, I'm definitely coming up next year. Can you get me a ticket? I'm like, give me advance notice. I'll get you a ticket for any home game. Oh, honestly, mate, I'm definitely coming up. He's got the buzz now, and he's never been to a Celtic game in his life. See, because he's talking to me, and we get the fit of banter, and I tell him about the games and that and stuff like that. He's bought right into it, you know, and he's like Stoke guy, proper Englishman, he'll love England and all that. But he's kind of, because he's got that wee relationship with me, he kind of likes Celtic now, and he's like, I am dying to get up there.
What are you out there like John the Baptist? Bringing in believers.
Aye, but it's great. It's fucking outstanding, man. But it's just so
phenomenal.
What are we thinking? We've not even spoken the cup final yet, but what are we thinking managerial next year? So I was gutted when Bertalascu's went to Toulouse because he was staring us in the face, and I just thought it would have been unreal if he, because they were the best team in the league this year. We limited ability players, but what a team. If he had better players, they would have won the league with a gap. You know, they were outstanding. And it seems, in the face of it, we've let it slip through our fingers. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but knowing Celtic, probably hadn't even fucking spoke to him. But anyway, he's off. So it's looking likely.
It's back into the Desmond contact list.
It's looking likely with Mark O'Neill. Yeah. But
yeah, that worries me a bit. I got to be honest. I know we had this chat yesterday, but you know, I love how much I love Martin O'Neill.
I love him as well.
He's my favourite ever Celtic manager, and just, you know, I think Saturday's the right time to give him his adulation, give him his farewells. The thing is, right? I mean, a couple of things. Even if he stays on, it's going to be another season, maybe two at a push, right? So it's just short term thinking again, which gets the board off hook in terms of trying to do anything particularly proactive. And you look at the transfer window that they delivered for him in January. There, not a single player involved in the key part of the season. Oxley Chamberlain, a few minutes here and there. Just worries me what we'd get over the summer, and we need a big transfer window this summer. We need 4 or 5 head turners bought in for the team. So I would be a bit deflated and a bit worried if O'Neill gets the gig.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but I do feel that he's just in a position to walk away with so much fucking love and so much of a legacy that to continue this and for us not to get the kind of change we need would just be, it would worry me more than it would kind of disappoint me.
And Joe, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, right? But look back at Strachan's time. It was a perfect time for him to leave when we won the league at Dundee, up at Dundee United. There, the Tommy Burns thing, the team was on its last legs, sort of thing, and he stayed another season. It was a real poor season. The season after, sometimes it's just the right time, I think, to kind of go on a high.
I mean, I think like most seasons for Celtic, we're probably not even close to whatever they're thinking, because it could be some fucking wild card. I don't know. I still believe it will be someone like Robbie Keane, but if it's not Martin O'Neill, but I mean, or do we get Maloney? Do we get a Maloney O'Neill double leg next season?
How about Craig Bellamy?
I like it, but I kind of got the feeling from talking to Johnny Owen that he kind of understands that would never happen. Not this stage.
I don't think he did. He's that feeling. I thought he thought that there was a potential there.
I think he said he was scheduled for Burnley. That was the rumours when Johnny was on. That's where he thought Bellamy was going.
I didn't get that feeling. I just thought if Celtic had maybe went for him, I thought he might have done it. I don't know. What about Pep Guardiola?
Do you know what? That'd be some fucking get one.
No, but this is absolute madness, right? This is madness, right? But do you know, like he's like a guy, like he thinks like us. He's one of us, basically. He's against the system, and he's like, Jake maybe he's done it all, right? What else is he going to do in world football?
I think you're telling yourself that story.
I am. but it's madness, right? It'll never happen, right? But maybe just think he just says to himself, what club in world football would I love to manage? That's.
I mean, he has his pick, and he's done it all.
He's done it. So he's never going to go to Real Madrid, right? So where's he going to go? What's he get left? Look, he's at the end of his football. Look, see at the top end of world football. What else could he do? Like, I'm sure he would love to manage the Catalan national team if they did work for him, right?
Yeah. Or Barcelona. I think he would go back to Barcelona.
You think he would go back?
Yeah, I do. No, I mean, they don't need him right now, obviously, because they're doing.
But he's done it. But I'm saying, what's he got left that he's not done?
I doubt he's sitting saying himself, I'd love to be fucking sitting in the piss and rain and fucking Dundee.
But do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But he seems to be the kind of guy that loves a cause, right? But
if you were in his shoes and you had your pick and you could kind of have a passion project, I mean, listen, it's not within the realms of possibility that someone like him goes, give me a 1-year contract so I can come in and see what this is like.
Aye.
But Kello Vision in the chat, Rob Kelly said the City Group connection. So there's a definite in. I just don't know who you would approach and not sound like a fucking maniac if you were fucking.
I realise I'm sounding like an absolute loon ball even saying that, right?
If I just making a phone call fucking to the City Group through Celtic, going like, "Listen, what's the chance of talking to this Pep Guardiola fella?" And they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
No, it's the most outlandish probably thing I've ever said, and I've said a few things in my life, but you get a feeling like, obviously, the guy's not got any direct connections to us at all, right? But you just get a feeling with certain guys in life that maybe they just turn in. Obviously, there's a fairy tale about this club, and it just turns out and says, "What could I do? Like, what could have it? Do you know what? I could go and take Celtic and win them a European trophy." Imagine he actually came to us and he was shite. How funny would that be?
He's not getting a fucking junior of fucking Buka or fucking junior Adami.
8 weeks into the season, we're fucking languishing fifth. I get him to fuck. But I can't see anything else bar Martin O'Neill getting it for another year. That's my opinion.
I'm trying not to think about it. I'm trying to leave that sort of like. What I'm hoping is to have a week-long break of not thinking about Celtic, or a week and a half, and then go back to thinking about like where it's going to go. Because after the men's kind of on the cup final, and then you're going like, right, well, we all need a bit of a fucking decompress. I think after this cup final.
Mate, honestly, Saturday game, and then I don't want to speak about Celtic for a month.
Right. I'm getting him after again. I'm not even.
Really?
Aye. Well, I've got a decent ticket. I'll not be here for a while after again. I've got a good thing coming on after it, but I'll be home for 8 o'clock or something. I'll not be. I'll be near. So
not quite straight after the game then.
not quite straight after the game. So what are we going on to the cup final then? What are we?
All right, we'll finish up the cup final. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes, so we'll finish off with the cup final.
So, I'm back, by the way. I was on a mercy mission there.
There we go. So what are we thinking? Cup final. Marty, on you go. You go first.
I told you I've had it in my water for weeks. It will be all right. So fully expect a victory. Whether they score, the Firmland will be doing all right, obviously, but they're a Division 1 team, so you would expect that we would have enough to handle them. While they're going forward, us defending at the back. So you'll be talking about a 2-0 or a 3-0 win, surely the fuck, against lower league opposition.
I don't know. I mean, they're not in the final for no reason.
But their tactics are going to be sit back. They're going to try and. I assume that Lennon will try and frustrate us and try and nick a goal later on, the same way Aberdeen did last year.
I don't know if that's what they'll do, but I have a feeling he may just get them to go out there and say, be smart, be organised, but fucking be brave.
Well, that's
and try to get your win. But I mean, Lennon as a manager isn't going to he's not going to get the final and not give it a go.
No, but Lennon knows rightly if he does that, we'll hammer them. I mean, they won't be able to cope with Maeda's pace or anybody else's fucking pace for that matter. You wouldn't have thought. So I don't think he'll do that. Lennon's a smart guy, and he's beat Barcelona and teams like that using those tactics. So he knows how to drill a team, and he's no mug. So I would imagine that will be his. He'll play for fouls, play for set pieces, try and keep it very tight, not give away an early goal. If they give away an early goal, it's ours. You know what I mean? There won't be any issues. I wouldn't have thought. Hamden said it a million times. That big pitch suits us down to the ground, especially with players like Sarachi and James Forrest if he comes on, which I'm assuming he will. They just get lots of joy out of the size of that pitch. You've acres of ball to play with, so it's always a happy hunting ground for us. Has been now for over a decade. So no, I think we'll be comfortable enough.
I'm gonna go for a nice clean cut 2-0.
Joe going for 2-0. What about you, Liam?
So a couple of things for me. One, I'd love to see us play a 90-minute game for one of the first times this season. So just like us to go and play well throughout the game. I hope it at least starts with. I would start with Iheanacho, looking to bring Osmond on after an error so for him. Get Maeda out left and then either Young or Forrest on the right. So just all the pressures off, all the stresses off. I'd like to go and see us go out and put a bit of a performance on and play some decent football throughout the game. we shouldn't forget we've lost to two really poor teams in the last two finals, St Mirren and Aberdeen. So taking absolutely nothing for granted, but I'm not expecting us to wipe them apart, take them apart. But a good performance, 2 or 3 goal win would be a smashing way to end a really memorable season.
Aye. See, that's all fair comments. I thought some of you were going to think we'd thump them, but I've not got any real confidence in this team doing much, right? But I'm confident we'll win the cup final just for the fact that we've got better players than them. But I don't think it will be a walk in the park at all. And I agree with Marty that Lennon's a wily old fox, knows his stuff and knows how to set teams up. And as I say, they'll be drilled to what they need to do and stuff like that. And I just don't think we are by any means an absolute certainty to win this. I think we will win it, but I think it'll be tight, and I think it'll probably be 3-1 or something like that. But maybe a goal coming at the end. But I don't see us winning at the park, whereas we should be. Let's face it. Celtic should be beating Dunfermline. I mean, the last time we played Dunfermline in the cup final, it was Doumbé scored 1-0. We beat them.
Was it not? Was it not the Roy Keane day on Dublin? Was that not Dunfermline?
No, it was the year after. It was 2006. Because I was at it.
Okay.
Doumbé scored. We beat them 1-0.
I remember that game.
Aye.
Probably the worst cup final I've ever been to, I think. And even though we won,
it was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, but we were celebrating, came out with some Celtic fans walking out saying that was shite. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a cup final. What can you won? What the fuck?
But I had this argument with Scott, I'm sure, a couple of months ago, but how many decent cup finals have you ever seen in your life? Do you know what I mean? That you could count them probably on 2 of your hands, and you watch 3 or 4 or 5 a year, depending on how many competitions you're into. It's very rare that you get a really, really good cup final, and I don't expect the weekends to be good at all.
Many cup finals have you won easy. I can't think. My mind's went blank. We won 3-0 and stuff like that. That's about the. But no, you're playing like lower league opposition, and you would think with the players that we've got at our disposal, the players they've got at their disposal, they could be. I bet this will be the time they will turn up and they'll absolutely romp it, but I don't see it.
I don't think so, especially not after losing. Especially after losing the cup final earlier on, you know, in December, November, whenever the fuck it was, our team will be out to finish on a high, and they'll want if it happens to be Martin O'Neill's last game in charge, then you can see them players at the weekend how much they love him. You know, they'll be wanting to go out and bust a gut from him, and you know, if you've got players like Iheanacho and James Forrest and stuff coming off the bench later in the game, you would imagine that our fitness will be better than Dunfermline's. You know, so you'd be hoping that the longer the match goes on, the more we would come into the game.
Yeah, you've got a few players hitting form as well, haven't you? You know, like Johnson, Ingles, McGregor's better. Yeah. You know, just 4 or 5 players looking much better now. So, whereas last year against Aberdeen, we were kind of tailing off a bit after winning the league, and St Mirren was obviously the Nancy ball. So,
I think for me, maybe sound a bit mad, but Callum Osmond's key. See having him. I think I do, Jason. See having him in the team. The options he gives you is unbelievable.
It's such a pity.
His pace is phenomenal too.
Oh,
it's such a pity he got that injury, you know. And like in a bad season, he might have been a highlight. You know what I mean? He might have been the one actually.
See if that boy was fit for the full season, didn't get injured v Mitchell, we would have robbed the league. Because that's what we're missing. We're missing somebody up front.
We were crying for a strike the whole year. We really were. And then, sure, Iheanacho was his replacement. For fuck's sake, sure, he went down injured too. It was like the curse of fucking Rumbaba. So it was. But and I don't know. There was a lot of Celtic fans wanted Partick Thistle back up into the league, but I would have thought we would have wanted Dunfermline back up because it's a bigger ground. You get more fans in to watch the game. So
Thistle's a great away game.
But it's a small ground. They only have 3 stands.
Aye, but you still got to get tickets. The year tickets.
I thought they'd have been bigger.
Aye, but it's a great day out. See if you play Thistle on like a Saturday morning or whatever, and you've got a day out in the West End, you just walk up the West End after that. It's brilliant, man.
I know it's a fucking
This was one
fair
of
spot.
would that finish? It was one each. Did it finish
One each, yeah.
Yeah,
I
one
think
each,
so.
St Mirren's the worst. St Mirren's the worst away game of the season. Shite.
Yeah.
Nothing near it. One wee shitey stand. We take Thistle, no bother. But Dunfermline was always alright. I wouldn't. But I was kind of neutral between them and Thistle. But I'd rather either of them with the beat St Mirren. For us, it's a shite away game. Rubbish.
That's I swear to God, like that's literally how I judge all other Scottish teams. It's like, how many fans are we getting into this fucking ground? I don't give a fuck who else is in the league as long as it's like additional tickets. Like everybody hates going to Livingston. I go, I know, but they give us 3 fucking stands. You know what I mean? Everybody can get in. That's really how my attitude is to them all. You know, there he is.
Well, so on Saturday we'll see Martin and a whistle and flute. Do we think?
Aye, with as we green and white rules, hopefully. But the last day he was in Hampden. No, it would have been the semi, wasn't it? He was there before. I was going to say the last final certainly was in '85, and I was at that match too, up in the fucking snobby seats, and he came right below us. There was a couple of guys with a banner that said "Thank you, Martin," just at the tunnel, and he was waving up where we were up above. And my overriding memory of it was just so fucking sad. Do you know what I mean? Because it was after Helicopter or Black Sunday, and you knew he was leaving, so it was just a fucking downer. Do you know what I mean? It was just like fuck's sake. And just as you say, Jason, it's always good to win a cup final, but that one was just so poignant, you know. So this one will be the opposite. This one will be celebrations after the fortnight we've had, the end of this fucking crazy season. Everybody's just going to be in good form. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's just like, come on, bring it on, the fuck. You know, this is just like the icing on the cake. It really is.
Definitely. But it's a bit of a kind of fairy tale final as well with Martin O'Neill against Neil Lennon. I mean,
That's mad. It's mad. Like,
yes. If this has to be Martin O'Neill's last game, which I kind of don't think it will be, I think he'll get another year. But if this has to be his last,
I heard you talking about it there. I think so too. Like I think they'll settle on him because Desmond. It's all down to Desmond. Do you know what I mean? I think Robbie Keane's got the message. I think Harper was keeping us informed on that one. I think he's got the fucking message that he's not wanted. So like, you know, he won't, after the appointment of Nancy, he'll just want a steady hand. You know, he'll just want somebody to come in and just fucking do the needful. You know, so I mean, you could have worse managers. Fuck's sake, you know, asking Martin O'Neill to stay on for another year, but he looks exhausted already. So I think it'll be very, very tough, you know, for him to take it. And I cannot understand why they're not offering him the chairman's job. I just can't fucking fathom.
The different skill, Marty, isn't it? The chairman, you know, director of football or something maybe, but not the chairman's a different role, I think, really.
It is. It's a totally different role. There's no. It's a once a month meeting, turning up to the games, you know, doing shit like Flag Day. Like it's a fucking gift. You know, it's a sort of a non-executive post. You don't actually have to do anything. You're just saying off the fucking books, turn up the stuff. You know, like it's not going to kill him. You know, but could you imagine, like, if you were one of those players who was maybe swithering about joining us, and Martin O'Neill turns up at your fucking door? You know what I mean? You're saying right away. You know, we need somebody like that. We really, really do. And Roy Atkins our ambassador, but you don't really see him. Do you know what I mean? And he's not really, like, we all remember Roy Atkins, but internationally he's probably not that well known. But every cunt knows Martin O'Neill because he's managed in the Premiership, he's managed international teams, the tournaments and whatever else. And, you know, he's high profile still. Obviously, he's been doing this year. So it's just, to me, it's just a fucking no-brainer. He's a shareholder in the club for a start because that was part of his package. He was given about £1 million worth of shares. So that is the box ticked, you know, for fitness test for sitting on a board. He's a shareholder. I just can't fathom why you wouldn't do it. You know, and when you look at the knobheads we've had as chairs, fucking John Reed, Banker, fucking your man Livingston, fucking hell. Do you know, it's just a no-brainer to me. Really, is it?
Fair point.
Very good point. The John Reed factor, that was interesting. You've seen some of the, the conspiracy theorists come up. One of the ones.
I listened to that Heart and Hand podcast. It's fucking brilliant. I'd highly advise it. They were going on about Sinn Féin the other day. They had that dickhead on from the DUP. He does it with he does it with David Agger. This dick that used to work at Abrax. He used to be a DUP councillor, and it's like fucking Dumb and Dumber. Like you want to hear the fucking two of them. It's amazing. And another thing is too, I've started listening to that Go Radio, and I like that better than Clyde because you've got fucking Barry Ferguson on it, who's a fucking numbskull. And and they let all the maniacs just come on and fucking go mental. And the guy Paul Cooney, who used to do Clyde years ago, he's very good. He's really good. Keeps it moving at a nice pace and whatever else. So just let them fucking go mad. Like. And I don't know if you have mentioned the SFA statement today, like, but it's no wonder McInnes hasn't been fucking seen all week. And yet,
he's been in billboards all over Scotland for my fucking.
I know, that was brilliant. But here, he was the people's friend there for fucking months. He'd have turned up at the opening of a fucking envelope to get his face on fucking Sky Sports News, but he's been nowhere to be fucking seen since the weekend. Do you know what I mean? It's just,
he'll be in the Maldives or something. I don't know, but he's ready.
Aye,
with no internet signal.
He should fucking stay there. So he should. The fucking goat. And I've been saying it too on this programme. Hearts are shite. They're a shite fucking team. Do you know what I mean? And the Huns are shite too. And the problem was we came down to their level this year. It wasn't that they improved. They're a terrible watch. Do you know what I mean? And it was you who said it the other week about their away form. You were on here saying Hearts aren't good. And it's fucking hard to argue with. Like, they're not a good team. They're all hustle and bustle and all that. And they have Braga. Braga's really good. Like, he's a really decent player. But the rest of them are just fucking hammer throwers. And Shanklin is just your archetypal kind of poacher. You know, he's no real. He's not really. Like, your wee man Maswanisi and all are probably about the same level. They're all probably about the same level. Do you know what I mean? There's probably not much between them. But I just think they're a fucking poor lad. Like, and whenever you seen Blair Spittle coming off the bench, like, I was like, what the fuck? What's he gonna do? He ended up costing him the fucking match by a crap fucking. He ended up costing him the last goal by a crap fucking free kick that he took, and that was their big thing this year: set pieces, and obviously their first goal was a set piece. You know, so it's fucking great. I've had a great week. You could not fucking anger me this week if you tried.
Right. I am going to need to sign off, boys. Or nearly 2.5 hours. It's fucking nearly 11 o'clock. Wrap it up. The fuck.
Get a wrap. Apologies for my absence earlier, lads. I got caught up in something I couldn't get out of.
Marty fashion, right? Aye. Feeling good. It's been a good week. Everybody's feeling good. Positivity's around. Oh, Scott, he can come back on next week. Fucking fella in with how he's feeling. Onwards and upwards. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to the summer. New Celtic tops. Get them ordered, folks. Wherever you can get them. Jason looks well in his.
Right.
That's us done. Folks, you want to say hail to the folks before we head off into the sunset?
Hail fucking hail.
Fucking hail times 2.
Enjoy your Saturday.
Celtic in the Villa.
And we'll see you there.
And by the way, before we go, a big thanks to the Oracle, Liam Power, who kept us on the straight and narrow. That's the first thing I said to him after the game on Saturday. He was the man. I was saying I wanted Rangers to beat Hearts, and I was lambasting how it was terrible for us. He says, don't worry, it'll all work out. And it did work out. And the Oracle.
I was lying through my teeth, but we got there in the
end. He said last week on here, it's definitely happening, and he was definitely.
Yeah. All lies, but we got there. I blagged it. So that's good.
Fake it till you make it. Hail, folks. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Enjoy, guys. Take care.
God bless.
Cheers. Bye.